All right. Looks like we're rocking. Here we are, live on the Automotive Edge Radio Show Facebook page, getting ready to kick off this wonderful event here on this Saturday morning. What are you doing? You're on something wrong over there. You're not on. We're trying to get
here.
We're trying to get.
Welcome to the Automotive Edge.com Stadium. It's the bottom of the ninth inning with 2 out, man on third, and Team Consumers are behind by 1 run. At the plate for the Consumers is Kurt Chase. The count is full. Joe Bag on the mound, waiting for the side. He goes to the stretch. Here's the pitch. It's a long fly ball hit deep in the left center field. It's going, gone. 2-run homer. Another great walk-off win for Team Consumer by Kurt Chase at the AutomotiveEdge.com. Well, we are back. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, body shop. We are back to kick off the new year with you, all of our wonderful, loyal listeners. We love you. We miss you. Happy New Year, Bo.
Happy New Year to you, too. We need to turn your volume down out there on this.
Have you done anything new for New Year's?
Yeah, I shoveled snow.
Why? You didn't shovel snow.
Yeah, we had snow, while y'all were out on this beautiful Caribbean.
You shovel it?
Kind of sweep it a little bit. It's just so it wouldn't slide off somewhere in the abyss.
I saw the funniest thing. The buddy sent me a video where a guy took his lawnmower.
I saw that.
I'm like, what are you
mowing
doing?
his driveway? Well, I guess it does move it out of the way, but it doesn't get it down far enough to where when it freezes over, it's still ice.
Yeah.
I made that mistake when I lived in New Jersey for about 5 years, and the first time it snowed there, I'm going like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. We got this big, heavy snow, and it was piled up everywhere, and steps and driveway, and I think I'll do that tomorrow. I'll think I'll wait and shovel it out of the way. Too late.
Yeah.
No, you got to do it right away, because once that thing hardens, you ain't never gonna get that out of the way. I learned a big lesson there. That's why everybody gets out there right away when it's time that snow starts coming, because you're done. So that's learned a little lesson. So I did sweep off some areas that needed to be done and got it squared away a little bit, but it's all right.
There you go. Maddie, did you have a good New Year's?
Yeah, I mean, it was relaxing. I stayed at home with my parents.
There you go. Did you play a little Yahtzee or Scrabble or?
No, I just sat on the couch
You
and watched TV.
You don't play board games on New Year's Eve?
No.
Did y'all
Uno or?
We don't really do anything.
Did y'all
My parents
dance the
don't like
New
to do
Year
anything.
in?
No.
Didn't you do that?
No, they don't really like to do anything.
Did you even
We just
stay
like
up till
this.
midnight?
I did. I stayed up till midnight and then I went to bed.
Okay. Well, you did something right. I
Yeah.
did too. First time in a long time. I actually stayed up and, saw the new year come in. And
I've been down there before in Times Square.
oh, yeah?
And I did it one year with my cousin.
Are you
and
serious?
luckily, we had family that were police officers
Right.
up there. And so we got to stand, where they have the main hub for all the cops and everything, where, they had the porta potties and everything. And you're standing up on this platform. I'm looking at going, what do these people do? Because you got to get there early. When they open it up, you see people, it's like running the bull, to get up there by the ball. And once you're there, you're there.
That's the problem with people when they go and then got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you ain't getting back up
I
there.
think that there's a lot of people that got wet pants when they leave there.
It was something, but it was really, really cool. There was no problems or fighting or.
When was that?
Oh gosh, this was 1986.
Gotcha.
And I've been up there for the 4th of July. I've been at Thanksgiving Macy's Day Parade. The dropping of the ball was probably the coolest to see, a million people crammed up in the streets. But
Anyway, yeah, we waited till 11 o'clock. We watched the ball drop in New York, and that was it. It was all good. But we're glad to be back home. We took a week off, and my wife and I took a cruise. Not sure if I'd ever do that again, but it was incredible. We four-wheeled in the mountains of Honduras, and that was spectacular. It pouring down rain, so it was one of the hardest rains I've ever seen. We happened to be there and got to hold a monkey and a sloth. That sloth was cool.
Oh,
That thing
wow.
was so cool. But, one thing that I realized when I got back, when we drove through Honduras back to the boat, is how blessed we are, how fortunate we are to live in the conditions that we live and have a home and have electricity and have running water, because there's some beyond destitute areas out there. And if it wasn't for the people coming off the cruise ship, no telling what condition of that country, because we pulled up, there was 5 cruise ships in port. And
that's probably how they make some sort of income.
Oh, yeah. It's the way they do make their income. Yeah, because once we came down the mountain on our four-wheelers, there was already another group going up and another bus pulling in.
Wow.
And I bet they had 100 four-wheelers.
Wow.
And so then they take all the pictures, and then hit you up for about $40 on the way back to get a little jump drive which we did. We didn't hand out any money. We bought a few trinkets here and there to help some people out. But boy, we blessed here in the United States when you go to another region and see how people live. But
it also shows you what happens, and we talked about this before the show. It's probably government related.
No doubt.
It shows you how when things get out of whack in a government, how things can go south in a hurry.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That just proven. Now, America's never really experienced that on a global aspect, but if things go south in a government, it sure could.
Well, for everybody that you want to protest and complain, go to another country and see what happens when you do that.
I saw in one of the reels or one of these social things that there was a young lady that had talked about how she complained and did all that, and she went to another country and came back and had a whole different attitude.
Yeah,
that's what everybody needs to do when they start complaining. Let them go to travel. Let's pay their way over there for a little while and then come back.
There was 2 vehicles over there in Honduras. The main mode of transportation. What do you think it was? What brands?
What brands of vehicles?
Yeah,
I would say probably Volkswagen.
Toyota and Nissan.
Oh, there you go.
They had the big vans that you don't see here. There's a lot of times when you go to other countries, you'll see a lot of vehicles there that you're not going to see here. And
they're different names sometimes, right?
Yeah, or different. Instead of what we see on the emblems,
right?
It's different.
Like an Odyssey, something else.
Yeah, you have to look it up and see, what it is. But the big Nissan vans and the big Toyota vans, which you don't even see here in the United States, because I took some pictures. And I sent it to a buddy of mine. He goes, no, those are, overseas product. And lots of Toyotas and Nissans everywhere. And then when you went to some of the areas where the people were living a little bit better, we saw a few Jeeps. One thing that we did not see on but one island? A pickup truck.
Oh, wow.
And guess who was in the pickup truck?
The cowboy.
The popo.
Oh,
the police. I mean, it's weird. You see this truck pull up, and there's 4 sitting on each leg. Remember how we used to ride around the truck when we were kids? There's 4 on each side, and they all got machine guns. I'm like,
that's nice.
Wow. That's the only truck we saw.
Anybody dare to make a mistake?
Yeah, they take the cars and they stack everything on the roofs and the trunks and wherever they can, put it. But there was no pickup trucks. I mean, if you have a pickup truck there, you must be one filthy rich person. But anyway, it was good to be back. That many days on a boat, I was ready to get off and get home. And, it made me appreciate life a whole lot more when you go into these other countries and see how these people day to day have to make a living.
And a dolphin fell in love with Kurt.
Yep, I did swim with the dolphins. Me and Flipper got along quick. I became the dolphin whisperer.
There you go.
I didn't know that a dolphin. Let me tell you, when you hold a dolphin, it's just a big giant hunk of muscle. And
so, how long was it? Like 8 foot long, maybe.
Oh, no.
Not that long?
Maybe 5
So-
foot,
Oh, so
but just thick. I mean, the thing's a rock. If you push on it, there's no movement. This thing is all muscle. And anyway, I don't remember the dolphin's name, but my wife does. She fell in love with this dolphin. But it was quite the experience. And then the coolest part was seeing these guys shimmy up this pole, 80, 100 feet in the air.
oh wow, I saw that.
Tie a rope to their ankles and fall back and start spinning. You're going,
Yeah.
What a living.
Yeah.
And they make their money by the tips that are down below. And I was saying OSHA would never approve that.
No,
They wouldn't get along.
I don't even think OSHA. I don't think they even know what that means.
No, they have the OSHA, no OSHA.
Exactly.
Wait,
Sure.
thanks for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, the show that's going to help you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop for 2025. Want to thank everybody. What is this year 6 with you now?
Yeah.
Wow. And then going, I guess, Maddie, this will be going into 2 years with Maddie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Correct, Maddie? Does that sound right?
How long have you been with us, Maddie?
Like
Like
over a
what?
year
What is
now.
it? What is it like, Maddie?
It feels like 100 years, though, doesn't it?
What is it like?
Yeah. You said like, and I want, what is it like?
Because it was a filler word, so I can think about how long I've been
How long it was?
Do you,
here.
do you know why people say the word like?
What she just said. To fill the gap.
I just said that's what I use like as a filler word, so I can think about the next thing to say.
There you go.
So it's not total silence,
There
right.
you go.
That you're not ghosting.
We're blessed to have you. We love Maddie.
Yes, we do.
And,
Thank you, guys. Happy to be here.
Praying good, quick healing on your dad. Why don't you give some good mornings there?
Yes, sir. We got it. By the way, if you're listening to us on Talk Radio 1190 AM KFXR, we're here every Saturday morning.
1
from
minute.
8 to noon. But you can join us on our social media sites. We're live videoing stream with Automotive Edge Facebook page, Shifting Gears Facebook page. We're on LinkedIn under Kurt Chase, and then we're on YouTube under the Automotive Edge Radio Show. You got to search Radio Show with that, the Automotive Edge Radio Show. And then we're on our personal Facebook pages, so there's no reason not to see us or hear us.
That's right. And good morning to Charlie Davis, my brother from another mother.
30
Dad
seconds.
Greg, Jim Wagner, one of the most special people in the world in my lifetime.
Dad Greg.
Gentlemen, good morning, Dad Greg. Richard Shepard, thanks for joining us here this morning. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, introduce you to some great sponsors. Don't go away, because me and the big wheels, we'll be right back.
Yeah, I was appreciate all you folk joining us, all our followers here on our social media site. We didn't really let anybody know we were going to be out for a couple Saturdays there, and boy, I got bombarded with where y'all at? Y'all on live today? What's going on? So it's nice to be back and see everybody.
It's
That's
nice to be
appreciated, huh?
yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff going. Hey, where you guys at? What happened? There's no live feed, and pretty humbling.
Yeah. Well, it's been a nice addition to the show. I know that over the time, and we did start out. When I started, we used they call a Mevo camera, and it was really good. It was a good way for us to get started with our social media feed, but we could only use really one platform. We could only do it on one spot, and then we had to share it maybe from our sites. But with this StreamYard we use, we're able to go to multiple sites at once, and that's been a big game changer there. Plus, we get to, as you can see.
I think you're a game changer, Bo.
Yeah, cool. I like that. Is that why I'm batting fourth? But we get to, make comments on, you can see our name and the tickers, and when we have our sponsors that we talk about, we can pop them up and give them a little notice on our feed. So it's, try to stay with the times and so forth. This StreamYard has been really good. So hope everybody's enjoying that and get a chance to make comments back to us. It makes it nice to get the feedback. Really, that's keeps the energy going on the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
People make a comment or have a question, whatever.
Yep.
We do appreciate that too.
Charlie, you getting any snow out there in Lubbock? I know what they say, snow's coming this week, but it looks like a lot of it's going to be to the west and the south of us.
I don't think we're gonna. You lost your little thing there on your microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get. We got it pretty hard though while y'all were gone. We got about 6 inches at our house.
Yeah, I had the my phone with the security camera on the house, and I went to sleep, and we're on the same time that you guys are. And
Oh yeah.
that next morning I woke up, I don't know, like 6 a.m. and I turned on my camera. I was like, holy cow, it was white Christmas out there. Got blanketed.
Ty says, yeah, the live feed really makes a big difference.
Yep.
Is there a preference on where we watch? Well, not really. I mean, we're live streaming on StreamYard through the Automotive Edge Facebook page. That's the Automotive Edge Facebook page. But then we share it to our other sister page, Shifting Gears, so you can go there and find it. But the main feed is to the Automotive Edge Facebook page and to LinkedIn under Kurt Chase and our
30 seconds.
YouTube. Now, we'd like for people to go to YouTube a lot to help get that.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube page.
And get that kind of rolling a little better. And the more you subscribe, the more you watch, the more that we kind of rise up into the visual notifications of what's going on. And then once you subscribe, once we go live, you'll get notifications that we're live on YouTube. So yeah, we like to push that
Freeman
YouTube.
Toyota.
All right. About to come back on the air here. Got a little pre-music deal that we can't really play on Facebook.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Freeman Toyota. If you're in the market for a Toyota, go no further than 820 and 183 right there at Highway 10. Stop in to see BJ. Stop in to see Jerry. My buddy Dane Miner. Here's what they're doing. On all new Toyotas, he's giving you a 7-year, 100,000-mile service contract.
About that. Now,
Third-year oil change and tire rotation free. So you got your Toyota Care, which is 2 years, 24,000 miles, whichever comes first, where they do the oil change, the tire rotations, make sure all your fluids and everything are topped off. Well, Dane Miner is going a step further. Why? Because they want to be committed to you and you committed to them when it comes to all your Toyota needs. The Grand Highlander, they're starting to come in. There's been a lot of people on a wait list. I've got half a dozen waiting on a Grand Highlander. They are now starting to come in. And the new 4Runner, you're looking at, I think, March or April. So if you want a new 4Runner, this thing looks absolutely fantastic. Stop over there at Freeman Toyota and build your 4Runner and let Jerry put that in the system so you get exactly what you want. You don't have to scrimp and go, well, I'll take this color. I really don't like the interior. I like this interior. I don't like that. You go build your new Toyota. The place, Freeman Toyota, on the affordable side of the Metroplex, 183 and 820 there in Hurst. Or you can start online at freemantoyota.com. That's freemantoyota.com. And when you take a look, when you go to their website, you can lease a new RAV4, $399 a month. You can lease a Camry LE, $249 a month. A Corolla, $219 a month. Want to drive a pickup truck? How about a Tacoma double cab, $269 a month? And then you get 2.99. This will tell you how excited the lenders are that Trump is going to be president again. They went 299 on 72 months on Tundras. So
that's incredible. Right
the
there.
place, freemantoyota.com. So one thing I want to hit real quick, and I try to not spend too much time on this, but a lot of times you, the consumer, are not paying attention to this. And I would just tell you and I've been preaching this for 21 years on air. Quit giving out your Social Security number when you're out shopping for a car. Shopping, not buying, shopping. Every time you give me your Social Security number, and I got too many calls.
Let me ask you a question. Sorry to interrupt, but do they ask you for that? Like you go into some dealers, they'll ask you for your Social Security number. Hi, could I get your license, Social Security number, so you can test drive the car?
Well, what they do is they bring you in, they hand you a sheet of paper and tell you to fill it out while they go get the keys to the vehicle.
And that's one of the questions.
Yeah, and they say your Social Security, they can verify that you are who you are, but that's not true.
Well, if license is good enough.
License and insurance.
Right. That's good enough.
That's what you need to have to drive the car.
Right. So that's, if they have that question on there, just don't fill it out. I mean, just don't fill your Social Security number out. Give them your license, put your license number and insurance. But don't do the other. And that's, I guess it's kind of when somebody, like when you go to the doctor's office and they say, fill this out, you're always got to fill out, feel like you got to fill out everything, but don't do that. Don't fill out the Social Security number there.
Yeah, I never do. And the lady goes, well, we don't have your social here. I said, you don't need my social. You got my insurance.
Right.
And she said, well, no.
No well about it.
If
you want to test drive the car.
And what they do is they use that for credit reporting.
Sure they do.
And so you just got to be careful. All you need is license and insurance to drive a car. You don't need anything else. But when you give out your Social Security number, here's what happens. You get in the car, and while you're driving, they can look in their CRM, which is their their management system, and they say, okay, Kurt's on a demo drive with Bo Carver. And they extract that information and they send it out to 4 or 5 lenders.
Wow.
To get that loan approved. So when you get back, they already know where you are on that car financially, what they can or can't do. And it's not important. What if you get back and you're not interested in buying the car? Well, you've already got inquiries on your bureau.
Yeah.
So when you want to test drive or you get to the dealer, no Social Security. If you go to my website, theautomotiveedge.com, you'll see the 4 Ds, and that is definitely one of them. Don't give out your social. The only time you have to give it out, even if you're paying cash, which I had a bunch of people contact me and say, hey, I'm paying cash. Why do they need my social? Well, that's because of all the craziness in the world that your Social Security goes with the title of your car. That's a fact. So when you're buying an automobile, they need to make sure that when I'm buying it, that I am Kurt Chase. I'm not Big Wheel Bo Carver, or vice versa. And they know if something happens, that car comes up, they know who the buyer was, and they can trace that car so much quicker.
Yeah, not just to the name, but to the actual association to that name.
Right. Yeah, so that's the reason you need a social when you're buying the car, period. Other than that, it's not important. So don't get anyone that says they need your social to verify you are who you are when you hand them your license and insurance to go on a demo drive.
Baloney.
You need to leave.
Bologna.
Get up and leave. Or just tell them you don't need my social for me to test drive a car. You just take a look at the look on their face. So I was out this week. I was covered up. Man, I've just been sicker than a dog this week. And it was amazing what I experienced on the phone and on the car lot. So I get it. But one thing I want to tell you, there are so many fantastic dealers, and those are the people that we want to put you with that are not going to ask for your Social Security number. Social Security number doesn't matter till you're ready to put the numbers together. They want you spending time driving the automobile, and that's who we want to put you with. And Freeman Toyota is a great example. When I was in the market for a Tundra, and obviously I know everybody there, but I got in that thing, and that salesman and I were gone for over half an hour. You know what he said? I've never been on a test drive like it. I said, well, get used to it. It's what you need to be doing.
Right.
Because the test drive is the tall tale sign. It's real simple. You know when you look at a sticker price if you can afford it or not. If you figure $30 per thousand, it'll tell you what you're buying, including interest and everything. $30 per thousand, it'll tell you exactly what you're doing. And so I got done with the test drive. He goes, wow, that was pretty incredible. I said, does everything I want it to do. Now I know. So anyway, no Social Security number while you're out test driving. And a lot of people say, well, how do I get that taken care of? Well, the only way to do it is to get with the dealers. They write up a letter, and then you get it to the credit reporting agencies to remove the inquiries. And that is, let me just tell you, that is not an easy process. So when you go out, you license your insurance. We need your social. No, you don't. If they persist, leave. Leave. You should be held captive when it comes to your Social Security number, and spend a good half hour or longer driving the automobile. Yeah, Charlie, I tell you what, it was amazing getting on the boat. Sure didn't want to do it, but once I did it, it was pretty cool. Good morning, Will Sakala, my brother from another mother. And there's a guy that I don't know if he hugged me or whatever, but he's got the same thing I had.
Oh, so you
gave, the same
he either
thing he
gave it
had.
to you or you gave it to him?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he kissed me goodbye when we were off the boat.
Maybe y'all got it from the dolphin. You got the dolphin flu.
Yeah. The porpoise fungi.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
Yep.
They've got a vaccine for it already.
Fauci's already got one cooked up.
Exactly.
Him and Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Anyway, phone lines are open, 214-787-1190. If you want to know where to go, who to see, what to do when it comes to your automotive needs, let us help you for 2025. And here's the thing. Get this. I've got a couple of sponsors for every 1,000 people, which is not a big number, that register on YouTube. They're going to give us $1,000 for our adopted teacher. How about that?
That's fantastic.
So if you go to YouTube and type in the Automotive Edge radio show and subscribe, get everybody that you can to do it. We get $1,000 for our adopted teacher. You know what $1,000 will do for our teachers? That'll take care of 30 teachers, all their school supplies for the rest of the year. We got a big push going on right now. We took care of the teachers leading into January, and a lot of those supplies are gone. So we're going to be picking them back up. And so the sponsors, obviously, they like exposure. And the way you do that is through the radio show. So if we get 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, we're going to get $1,000 for our adopted teacher program. So for everybody that's listening, get everybody that you know and get them to subscribe to the Automotive Edge YouTube channel. And let's help out some teachers, get them through the rest of the year, because they've got January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, about 6 months. And we got to get them some supplies. So that's how you can help. Go to the Automotive Edge YouTube channel, subscribe, and let's get some money out there for the teachers. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break, meet some sponsors, and we'll be right back.
So did you do any disco stuff on the cruise? Y'all have a disco night? Did you?
We did.
Was it like it was the headsets, or was it out in the open sound?
No, it was, I'll show you. We had, everybody got dressed up.
Oh, did you?
And, well,
Kind of.
I didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice.
I didn't see any of that. Well, there you go. How about that? Sweet.
Yeah, Melinda dressed up like Cyndi Lauper.
Cool.
I love the 80s.
Yeah.
And on the gloves and the tutus. And
That's awesome.
yeah, we there was another one. Yeah, look at these guys. They dressed up as the boys.
Look at that.
They look so cool.
Very cool.
I mean, they did it up. And everybody, it was cool because
I was busy.
It packed.
Yeah. Was it a DJ?
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's the whole 17 deck.
Wow.
And they
So it was kind of more like outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, we knew. I mean, there was
Did
thousands.
they do
of people out
YMCA?
there. Oh yeah.
Was everybody doing the Trump dance?
Everybody was out there boogie. Boogie. Yeah, it was quite the experience.
Well, that's good. Isn't that what you wanted when you went?
Yeah. It's just a dusting around Lubbock, but in New Mexico, I got hammered and was not fun driving. Got stuck in Albuquerque.
Wow.
Huh.
Is that this time or was that the last time?
Last time.
Yeah. I don't think. Which way is it coming this time? Straight down north?
Uh-huh.
That other one, I think, came from the west.
Yeah, this one's going to just push through. They said, I saw on the news, 300 million people are going to be affected by this next Arctic blast.
300 million. Wow.
It only leaves 20 million. I guess those are the ones in Hawaii.
I'm
I
going.
don't know how many people live out there.
Unless they might have miscounted a little bit.
You know, God bless those people in California. That is horrible.
30 seconds.
Absolutely horrible. I don't understand why. I guess it blows me away that we can't figure out a way to tunnel the water from the ocean.
Well, we do with oil. Why can't we do it the other way? Like
Yeah.
when there's so much rain, like in North Carolina, have a big pipe that shifts it to some place like California or whatever's got a fire. I mean,
Why can't they run the pipes from the ocean up into California, and when this thing gets going, they just flip the switch?
yeah, and just have a pump that shoots it out there. I don't know. Well, there's been a lot of problems, but they totally completely was unprepared for this. And a lot of the stuff that happened, they caused it themselves.
Oh.
They could have had that under control and they didn't.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of show goes out to Classic Buick GMC of Arlington. My buddy Jermaine Pearson, general sales manager. I tell you, they've got APRs and discounts bigger than they've had all of last year going into January. So if it's a Buick, and I'm telling you, for you people that are looking for a luxury vehicle without the massive luxury price, go drive the new Buick Enclave, the 2025 Buick Enclave. I drove that thing, and actually I can say I love that vehicle. Now, I had one, my wife did 6-7 years ago. We leased it, and it was really nice. But now they have taken this thing above the standard. And because a Buick, I'm telling you, let all that brand and badging and everything go. Go drive the new Buick Enclave. As for Jermaine Pearson, let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show. And then you got the full line of Denali series out there, depending on how nice you want to make a vehicle. And they've got the electric Hummers out there that they've got some great lease programs on. So I can't afford it. Well, they got lease programs to help you afford it. The place, classicarlington.com. That's classicarlington.com. As for Jermaine Pearson, and go spend the time driving. There's plenty of area out there to drive right there at Collins and I-20 to experience. I'm telling you this, I think the Enclave is going to set a new standard for Buick. Whoever the platform team people are, they've knocked it out of the park. One of my top 5 vehicles for 2025. Place, classicarlington.com. All right. What do you want to talk about, Bo?
Well, Charlie says, where all did y'all go on your cruise?
We went to Rotan. We went to Costa Maya and Cancun.
There you go.
And it was absolutely beautiful. Each one of the areas, except for when you get to, you go into town and you go and you see people that are beyond destitute. But the beach lines were beautiful. The water was gorgeous. The people couldn't have been friendlier. Everybody's wanting money. I'll tell you that. Where they're handing you stuff, and if you take it, that's the catch. And you know, I've got the sweetest wife in the world. She's like, "Oh, hello." I'm like, "Melinda,
I'm surprised she didn't come back with a suitcase full of stuff.
Don't talk to them. Don't take nothing because they're reeling you in." You know, and she had on this red, white, and blue sundress, and everybody goes, "Oh, Miss America!" Everywhere we went, "Hey, Miss America!"
That's all right.
You know, and they're trying. Well, they did reel us in one of the jewelry stores. And did buy her a bracelet while we were there that matched some of her jewelry here. But, yeah, and it's amazing. If you got cash, man, you're a big dude. You got credit, you're going to pay. I mean, there's $100 swing on everything with the credit card.
Oh, wow.
$100. And I didn't know, to bring cash when you get off the boat. But yeah, you got American dollars, man, you're a winner. And the guy goes, well, if you got cash, I'll sell it for this. I'm like, baloney, you sell it for that? No. The service charges over there are outrageous.
Oh, wow.
So anyway.
Well, Will Sakala says, good morning, guys. And these comments are coming via our Facebook feed with our live stream. So if you're tuned in on the radio and you got to get out of your car and can't listen to us there, go to your computer and follow us on our our social media site, the Automotive Edge Facebook page, or Shifting Gears, or YouTube. Go to YouTube. We're trying to get that.
Yeah, subscribed on our YouTube channel. We get 1,000 subscribers. We're getting $1,000 for every 1,000 for our adopted teacher.
So
how about that?
Help us out there. Go there and subscribe, and then you can watch us there and make comments as well. So we appreciate if you're doing that, and be a part of our broadcast each and every Saturday morning from 8 to noon here on Talk Radio 1190 KFXR.
You're quite the let's get matched up when you do the show. Your shirt, your sweater. I mean, you're always in tune with yourself.
But I'm in my underwear underneath.
I'm trying. That's why I'm looking you in the eye. That's why I'm just looking you straight in the eye.
Well, I try to bring a little bit of class to the show. It's kind of rough at 5:45 or 6 in the morning to figure out. But I always pre-prepare the night before, because I load everything up in the vehicle that I need to bring the night before, and I get my clothes prepared to what I'm going to wear. Because I am not thinking very sharply at 6 a.m. in the morning. I got to just go, get it done, and walk out the door.
What time do you go to bed at night?
Well, on Friday nights, you get into a place to where you try to find what works the best. I was going for a long time to go to bed early, like on Friday nights, like maybe 9 o'clock. But then I'd sleep for about 4 hours, and that'd be the end of it. I'd be up all night. So I found it better to really go to bed later, like about 10:30 or maybe even 11. That actually helps me most of the time almost get to the time I have to wake up. Normally, I wake up before the alarm goes off. I don't know if you do that or not, but I do. I usually wake up before the alarm. But I get better sleep because I'm not waking up at 2 in the morning and sitting there for 4 hours. And I'd rather be sleeping. So I go to bed a little later. 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I found that works better for me. How about you?
Oh, I roll over, look at the clock, 4:20, 5:17.
Yeah, but I mean, what time do you go to bed? Try to go to bed early, or
around 10:30 at night?
Okay, so that's the same.
Yeah. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. So a lot of questions coming in about what's going on with electrification. Well, I've been telling you for months now, if you're going to get an electric car, you need to get one now. Here's the plus and minuses that are going to happen. The plus is if you pick one up right now, you're going to get $7,500, depending on how much of it was made, parts and batteries and pieces here. Not all electric vehicles qualify for the whole $7,500. It's about how much of the parts were built here, other than China. The less China, the bigger the incentive, period. What's going to happen when Trump takes office? He's going to nix that whole $7,500, which he should have. That should never be there. You know where they're getting that money from? Does anybody have an idea where they're getting that $7,500
from us?
Well, no. Where?
Social Security?
Well, just Google it. It will blow you away when you find out where the $7,500 is coming from.
Hey, don't tease us. Do you know?
I know they're robbing Paul to pay Peter. So I'm going to see if
isn't it Peter to pay Paul?
Paul to pay Peter, Peter Paul, Peter Paul and Mary. So we're going to see who Googles that first and post it here on the website where the $7,500 electrification money comes from. So anyway, here's what's going to happen. People are the numbers are going up. People are running out right now and taking advantage of the 7,500. Some cars are 3,750. Some cars are whatever. you're going to get a smoking deal right now on an electric vehicle because electric vehicles right now stink. They're so far down. A lot of people are pulling the reins on electrification. They're not building electric cars. They've gone idle. They're going to have to build them sooner or later because they've already got the suppliers supplying them with all the batteries and parts and everything it takes to assemble a car.
Did the dealerships think that they were going to be a hot item, or they just had to do
They
what
didn't want them.
Okay.
I don't have a dealer that has gone
Yippee-yi-yo,
cuckoo for Cocoa
ki-yay.
Puffs yet. You know, because here in Texas, well, just like any other state, the infrastructure is not set up. They put the cart in front of the horse on this whole deal. You know, that's one of those great backdoor deals that, you know, the corrupt people are.
The palms got greased.
Oh,
That's what they used to call that in the old days.
well, it goes back to Al Gore and the Chicken Little syndrome. You know, the sky is falling. We found out that everything Al Gore was saying was a lie.
Yeah.
And people bought into it. And he made hundreds of millions of dollars because he couldn't win the presidency. So he put, you know, the fear of the end of the world into people and flew all over the world making millions and millions of dollars playing Chicken Little. And there's too many people that dispute what they're saying. And with that, the ones that drank the Kool-Aid, they're not letting go. But now the American people are going, you know, we can't even charge this right. The cost of a charging station, the quick charge, all this, it's just not working. It should have been introduced very slowly, not a mandate. Just introduce and let the market delegate the market. Do I want to drive an electric vehicle or not?
Well, if it would have been that way and it caught fire and people were buying them and things were right with the infrastructure and all that, then the dealers would have been more than happy to get more of them and sell more of them, or, you know, have more on their hand to supply people with. But that just didn't happen, did it?
Well, the infrastructure is a big thing. Look where you got to go to get it charged.
Well, and I
other
think
than your garage
and the time to charge, I think those were the two biggest things as well.
Yep.
I mean, you might find a charging place, but you got to sit there for what, an hour?
Oh, you're gonna sit there depending on how far you
much further you need to go.
Yep. Yeah, I had a buddy who was at the Kaboom Town out there in Addison, and he had his family got in his car, and it was almost done. And he pulled into a place that had one, and they sat there for hours while the kids were asleep in the car charging so he could get back to Fort Worth.
Yep.
So the infrastructure is not ready. You know, when you introduce something, let the market delegate. Because now they're backed up with them, and when that $7,500 goes off, the people that own them are going to do okay because their value is going to go up. But the ones that are looking to buy after that, that's not going to be. I don't know what the manufacturer going to do. They're going to be very, very, very creative because of where all the manufacturers are financially. We got to get through Q1 into Q2, maybe Q3. Before you start seeing a lot of interest adjustments where the manufacturers can start putting their own incentives and start moving electrification, if that so be the case.
Well, I don't think the infrastructure is ever going to be right because hybrid is really taken off and they don't have to worry about those kind of things.
Yep.
So I think EVs for the most part are going to be like beepers here pretty soon.
214-787-1190. Don't go away. Me and the big wheels. We'll be right back.
Art Naismith, my brother. How's it going? Glad Annie's doing great. And everybody's feeling the positive vibes there in Lufkin, Texas. Appreciate y'all being a part of the broadcast as always. Art being probably close to hitting maybe number one fan. I bet you are getting close. But we do appreciate it here on our live feed. We're back after a couple week hiatus, a couple Saturdays. We did have a show on the radio. It was pre-recorded, but we were there on 1190, but we were out of pocket on our social media live stream. But we're back today, and glad to be back. Glad to be back with the broadcast. And what do you say?
Is Mr. Chase there?
He's not At his headset. What you need to ask him
Can you
something?
tell him to put his headset on?
Can you put your headset on? She needs to ask something. He's over there. He's getting something. You're right back. Ask me. I'll answer for him. He probably can't answer it anyway.
No, this was directed towards him.
Oh, okay. Oh, did he get in
Question
trouble?
is.
Did he get in trouble?
Hello.
So there is a gentleman, Wayne, that called on air December 28th, and you had told him to give me his phone, give me his phone number.
Uh-huh.
And I texted it to you, and he called back today saying that he has not heard from you since, and he really wants to get in contact with you. However, he's tried asking questions on your website. He's tried leaving messages on your website, and he still has not heard from you.
That's weird.
Well, he's been gone.
Do
for
you
a
have
couple
his
weeks,
number?
too.
I do have his number. I texted you.
Okay, resend that to me. I don't know why I haven't contacted him. That's weird. Huh. Do you still have it?
Yeah, I do. It's in our messages. I'll resend it again.
Yeah, resend it. I don't know why I haven't called. But yeah, tell him I will, right when we get off air, I'll give him a call. That's kind of odd.
So, Wayne, if you're tuned in, we will get back in touch with you. Sorry about that.
Got it. Wayne Chafin. I'm sure Chafin. I will call you right after. I just got that from Addie.
Kurt, to his excuse, he's been gone for a couple weeks. So, could be one reason.
I still make my call.
I'm trying to get you bailed out of it, and there you are putting yourself back in it.
Yeah, but I mean, I was on the boat and doing emails and texts, and I bought the Wi-Fi package, and which didn't really work for Flip, but when it did, I answered a bunch of emails and responded.
We got Wesley Stewart down in Florida tuned in. Good morning, Wesley, and Gary Coker. Oh boy, here we go. What a great purple morning. Have a great purple day, Bo and Kurt. How about that? I'm moving back up the ladder, I think. He didn't say my best friend.
Oh, he didn't put best friend on
He
there?
didn't put it. You might be dropping.
Goodness.
Better watch it.
Going driver's edge.
Okay. All right, where are we at here?
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop, we are here to help. This segment of the show is brought to you by Driver's Edge Auto Repair, 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty on all engine repairs. They don't summarize, they don't winterize, they just get your car the affordable way of operation, meaning they don't. A lot of times when you go and you get a car serviced, your car disappears and it comes back with this laundry list of things to do. And when you look at the mileage versus those things in your glove box that are covered in dust, your owner's manuals that tell you all the intervals when your car is being worked on, that's what you need to follow. That's what the manufacturer has set up. So if one supersedes the other, you still want to stay with those guidelines because it'll say 7,500 miles or this many months, 15,000 miles or this many months. And that's what you want to go by. That's what the manufacturer suggests. And you don't want to get in a place where you're doing a 75,000 mile checkup at 60,000 miles and you're so far ahead of a curve that you could be taking good parts off and putting good parts on. The place to eliminate all that, Driver's Edge Auto Repair. If you go to mydriversedge.com, that's mydriversedge.com, you got over 20 locations here in the DFW area and growing. Stop in. Oh, and by the way, you don't need to go to some of these big advertised tire companies. They are matching or beating tire prices for your vehicle. The place, mydriversedge.com. That's mydriversedge.com. They don't winterize. They don't summarize. They only do the work needed at the time. And then they'll give you a list of things that you need to start looking at down the road. Never a fear factor. Always online, ready to help. And look at the discounts. They have great coupons. And if you don't have the money for a big repair, they also have financing available for you as well. Go to mydriversedge.com. What are you doing, Bo?
I'm over here just talking to people. And if you've just joined us here on Talk Radio 1190, we appreciate that. We're here every Saturday morning from 8 to noon. Tell everybody about us when you're out and about. And join us on our social media sites with our live stream under the Automotive Edge Facebook page, LinkedIn under Kurt Chase, that's KURTCHASE, or bada bing, bada bang, go to YouTube.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to the Automotive Edge radio show. You have to, when you search, go to YouTube and search it, you got to add the radio show part of it to get the right connection. That's the Automotive Edge radio show on YouTube. Subscribe, like, make comments, and we'll sure appreciate it. It's going to help our teachers when you do. So
that's right. 1,000 subscriptions. Tell all your friends. Tell everybody. Well, I get $1,000. $1,000 for every 1,000 subscriptions, and that goes right to our teachers, right into their classrooms. So that'd help a bunch. Subscribe to us at The Automotive Edge on YouTube. Okay. You know what blows me away? Everybody is getting out of the coupe business.
What do you mean? Oh, the cars, you mean?
Yeah. I'm just blown away by how many of the manufacturers are getting out of the coupe
And when you say coupe, you mean two-door?
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen one in a long time, to be honest with you.
Wow, because the only big sports cars you have left is the Corvette and the Mustang.
Right.
Other than that, you have to get into your luxury brands to see, what's available. Audi has a coupe, and Mercedes, BMW, but Lexus is bailing.
Yeah. Well, I can see a little bit why they're getting out of sedans. I don't understand at all. Some of them are doing that, but I get the fact that because back in the day when there was quite a few coupes, you'd have to move the seat up, bring it forward and then move the back part up for somebody to get in the back seat. So that I get that part of it in a regular type of sedan, but getting away from sedans is something I really don't get.
So who do you think's buying the coupes?
I would think probably 25-year-olds.
Mm-mm.
The 60-year-olds.
Empty nesters.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
In the 50s?
Yep.
45, 50?
It says, well, I'll cover this, I guess, when we go to get back from break. Gary Coker didn't even put my best friend. What happened?
Well,
did I get ditched for 2025?
That's what happens when
Did you send him a gift in the mail?
I actually called him up and had a long conversation while you were on the cruise.
Wow, that hurt, Gary. I thought we were closer than that.
I told him, look, man.
More Wesley Stewart, Ralph Paul out at the barn. Hope things are going well for you. Miss you and Carol. All right, well, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we got a whole lot to cover here. 214-787-1190. You get any comments, where to go, who to see, what to do, something on your mind you just want to talk about. 214-787-1190. I'm Kurt Chase with the great one, Big Will Bo Carver.
Sure.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
So he's not coming into the shop today, Ralphie?
Great song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People on Facebook can't hear it, but that's all right. We'll tell them about it. We'll sing to them.
Well, you could. You can sing. I can't.
One of these days I'll need to bring my guitar and we'll do a little.
Our guitar?
Well, I was going to bring my acoustic, not my bass.
Oh, okay. We'll bring the bass.
You going to play it?
Yeah.
Play it out. Well, that ought to be fine.
I'll do Jimi Hendrix upside down because I'm left-handed.
Yeah. That'd be a real good show right there, baby.
I was watching some clips on some of the best bass players in the world.
They're crazy.
Amazing what those guys can do. Now there's this young kid. He's like 12 years old playing this bass and just wailing that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's a 4-string and a 6-string.
Well, there's a 4, 5, and 6. 4. That's what I started on, but I went to 5 pretty. One of the reasons I like the 5-string over the 4 is you have what they call a low B string on the top, which allows the bass to get a lower notes than the 4. The 6-string, I don't get that much because it's the same as the 5, but it has a higher string on the bottom, which means that you can play higher notes further up on the neck instead of higher on the neck. But I don't get that unless you're just a solo bass player.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, I get it. But for just really being laying the groove and all that, 5 is a lot more popular now than any of them. You'll see most people are playing that now that are in the professional side.
Can you spin and do a 360 while you're playing?
Sure.
Beautiful.
I can do splits too. But I can't get back up. Yeah, it's fun times. Wesley Stewart says ZZ Top has 15-string bass. I saw that. It's crazy. That's nothing more than just showboating. It's similar to a 12-string guitar. The 12-string guitar is basically a 6-string, but they've added a harmonic string right below each one, which gives it a really unique sound. But you play it just like a 6-string.
What do you think about those double neck guitars?
I think they're cool because that one's a 12-string, one's a 6-string.
Yes, I remember when the Eagles were the first ones really to come out where you saw that double neck guitar going. That's wild.
But it's two different. It's one, like the top one is usually a 6-string and the bottom's the 12-string. You play it the same way, but the sound is different because it has that extra little string under each one of the 6 strings, and it just has a really different kind of sound. And they're very cool. I like the sound of a 12-string, especially an acoustic. It sounds really cool.
I was listening to a show and they were going around. Sammy Hagar travels around and hangs out with all the great guitar players and everything. And it was amazing who they said what they thought most of the rock and roll bands who the greatest band on stage ever was. And most of them said AC/DC.
Yeah, I would say that's probably, yeah.
Even though Tommy Lee was like, man, when I saw AC/DC, he goes, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Then he took it to the next level where, he had that spinning cage where he was playing the drums. And he said, but there was something about AC/DC, no matter what you did, they were just
one step ahead of everybody.
Unbelievable. What's his name? Angus, the guitar player. Golly, did that guy put on a show.
Well,
those days are gone.
Yeah, they had a lot of big hits.
Yeah, I think all the great music is behind us.
Well, from what I've been listening to lately, it is.
I don't know that you.
It may be in front of us, but it ain't right now.
We just think. When's the last time you heard of a new name rock and roll band that was killing it?
Don't know any.
All the country music sounds alike.
Can't tell the difference from the singers.
And I don't listen to
rap. Can't understand it. Number one, and that's all the same.
I think last time I listened to it was Run DMC. But I did like that rap they did with Aerosmith, Walk This Way.
Right. Yeah, I never was into that. To me, I think that rap shouldn't even be considered music. It should be its own entity, like a poetry of music, because it's just rhyming and talking. They've added sometimes a chorus. Somebody might be singing in a chorus, but rapping is talking. It's not singing.
I don't know.
And I don't get why they get that
I mean, there's some pretty cool songs out there. I mean, there's some rap out there that I think is pretty cool. I mean, there's some good songs out there. I could never tell you who the artist is, but I can tell you the artist on half the music, regardless of whether it's
I couldn't tell
country or especially country. Everything seems to be sounding alike in country.
Well, it is all alike, and even the vocals are all alike. There's not even any difference in the sound.
You go back to you could tell Alan Jackson and George Strait, Chris Stapleton now has really dominated the country. He's got his own deal. Brooks and Dunn, Garth Brooks. I mean, they were very identifiable.
Not anymore on the current stage. I don't get it. So, but that's what they keep pushing.
Yeah, that one Jellyfish, whatever his name is. I mean, and some of these guys get up there and start singing. I don't get it.
Jelly roll.
Jelly what?
Jelly roll.
Jelly roll.
Tootsie, tootsie, tootsie roll. You should do a song like that.
Yeah. Good morning, Ronnie Vice and Booker T. Good morning. You know, as I've gotten older, when I was growing up, I didn't even like rock and roll music. I like dance music. I like going back where, I like the Four Seasons,
well,
the Tops, the Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, all that stuff. I couldn't get enough of it.
Well, when I was in high school,
Four Seasons, I loved that music.
When I was in high school, that's what I would listen to as well. I would listen to Motown.
Yeah,
that
Motown
was my
was
music.
The deal.
And everybody was in my age bracket was listening to rock and roll, and I had a little bit I liked, but my music was Motown.
Yeah, Motown and Soul Train was my deal.
Yeah,
I loved it.
That was my cup of tea right there, buddy.
I tried to emulate them dancing. I never could do it.
I have to have that special rhythm.
Radio show, Shades.
Thanks so much for hanging out. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills. And when you pull up right there at 820 and 26, you're going to be wowed by the inventory that they have. I'm not a betting man, but I bet you, Dr. Pepper, you're not going to leave there not finding the vehicle that you want to take home. Good people, great prices, great leasing. Everybody's got back in the leasing game where the leases are getting a lot more attractive now that we know who's going to be the president here in 2 days. The leasing numbers are coming out. They're looking really, really good. Instead of the average, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 down payment on a lease, they're a third of that and going lower. Some have full tax credits. There's a lot going on at Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills. From sales to service, I mean, we get there on a Saturday morning. I bet there 100 people lined up out there to get through service.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And there's a reason why. Put them on your list. When it comes to a Honda, it's Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills, NRH.com. That's Norm Reeves Honda, NRH.com. See our girl Haley and let her know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show here on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia network, and enjoy your Honda experience. It's Norm Reeves Honda, NRH.com. So, as I was looking around and going through all the inventory and seeing what's being discontinued for 2025, man, it blows me away, the cars that are going away. I don't understand it, don't wrap my brain around it, but it's not so much that people haven't been that don't like the vehicles. It's just that because of the virus that hit and unfortunately the president that we've had and the way the economy has gone, the specialty segments have really started to dry up. And I don't know that it's going to come back. There's a lot of vehicles that they rebadge them, rename plate them, but a lot of this stuff is going away. I said Lexus is going to end production of the RC and the RCF this year, adding the coupes of the ranks of internal combustion two-door car being discontinued as Americans migrate to light trucks. Now, I don't get that part of it, that people are getting out of coupes and going to light trucks. But I do understand that the two doors are fading out. It says the Japanese luxury brand said that for sports coupes, it's their final sales year. It will limit the performance trim of the RCF to a single configuration. The RCF Final Edition in 4 colors: Incognito, Radiant Red, Sonic Iridium, and Ultra White. They're going to be gone. And these are some bad boys, powered by a 5.0 V8, 472 horsepower. I just don't see why all the coupes are going away. I think that specialty segment is really going to start to dry up, and bringing it back is so costly, especially if you don't have the numbers to support it, to set up assembly to build two-door coupes. I think that's where I really believe the American muscle needs to come back and play a bigger part. I was blown away when Stellantis said, we're going to drop the Charger and Challenger and then take the Charger nameplate and bring it back as an electric vehicle. Totally blew me away. Luckily, Tavares is gone, who was the head of Stellantis, as we all remember, as Chrysler, Daimler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. He's gone, and now they're going to outfit that place with some people with hopefully better direction, better focus on what the American people want. But that old American muscle, people love it. They love it. That's why Mustang's been around so long. If you remember Camaro went out, I think it was 2011, 2012. They quit building the Camaro, and then they brought it back. It did really well. And then once they announced that the Camaro was going out, guess what? They bought up everything they could get their hands on. That's the weird thing about the auto industry, is when they turn around and say, well, we're going to discontinue something, and next thing you know, everybody's running out buying it. When Eldorado, I remember across their patio, they had, golly, a dozen Camaros, hardtops, and convertibles. Chevy announced that they were going to discontinue the Camaro, and everything got sold. Same thing with their Malibu. They announced that this last year, Malibu, I think Eldorado has 70-something coming in, and they're selling them as fast as they can get them. It blows me away, the mindset of the consumer. We're taking something away, and then they run out and start buying it. I don't get it.
They must be taking management skills from Jerry Jones. That's all I can say, because it's not. It just makes your head turn like Linda Blair in The Exorcist when you see something so popular and so demanding, and yet, well, we're just going to do away with it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think they've overbuilt the SUV market. I think there's way too many out there. And when you look at Camry with Toyota and the Corolla, you look at Honda with the Accord and the Civic, you look at the Mazda 3. I mean, I go down the whole list with Volkswagen and Cadillac and these sedans. The thing about it is, you've got to really start a different style and profile of these cars. When you run something into the ground and all of a sudden you announce that it's going out, that's where the problem is. But I think when you really put some style and finish into these cars, that's what the younger generation wants. The younger generation wants cool-looking cars under $30,000.
Yes, you're correct.
I mean, that's the hot spot. And you look at the average, average SUV is $38,000.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of younger people going out going, hey, I want my first car, I want it to be an SUV.
For $38,000.
Yeah, I haven't run into any of those people yet.
Yeah, me neither.
And that's why the used car market is so strong right now. The SARS, which is the sales annual adjusted rate for 2024, going to be right at 16 million, a great comeback year. And once Trump was announced as president, let me tell you what, November and December, the sales went through the roof. They had massive months where people were running out, even though the interest rate was high. And I had more people calling me going, hey, I'm ready. I'm like, wow, what changed your mind? And it was amazing how many people said that they're going to go ahead and buy now because the discounts were there, huge rebates. They were moving the inventory, and they'll refinance down the road because the discounts were so big with the money that they were putting down that it would meet just about any portfolio on a refinance. And so sales went through the roof. I think in December, just off the show that we know, was 186 people that we helped buy automobiles. I've never been so busy in my life, going to dealers and calling dealers and calling salespeople and putting car deals together in the month of December and the first week of January. It didn't slow down because most of the incentives ran through January 5. But they're coming back. I mean, they are my goodness, as the show goes on, you'll see as we come out of the different breaks, as I announce some of these discounts and incentives, they are off to a big start. And here's why. It doesn't change, and it has not changed in my 37 years in the auto industry, that January, February, and March are the slowest months of the year in the selling season. Why? Because in January, everybody's coming off the holidays, paying off the bills of Christmas and New Year's and whatever. Then February is your shortest month of the year, so you'll see another chunk of discounts coming out in February. And then March, everybody gets ready for the tax man that cometh. And so this pattern has never changed. It has never changed in my 37 years that the 3 best months to buy, January, February, March. The best month to buy, February. It's the shortest selling month of the year, and the dealers have to get through that first quarter to get all their assembly set up for the rest of the year based on their earn and turn. As fast as they turn one, they earn one. Once they register that car that has been sold to Bo Carver, they get another car in the system. They sell another one to Kurt Chase, another one.
Now, do they get the same car, or can they get something different?
It's that car.
A color and everything, or they can
It can adjust the color.
Okay, but that model.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And with Toyota and Honda, who I spent many years with, you can go in there and select colors and options and
manipulate it a little bit, huh?
Yeah, and play with it a little bit and get those automobiles. But this was a huge finish of the year, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew once the election was over, things were decided, and then when crazy Kamala had to take and sign off on the election and validate it, things took off again. And for the auto industry, that's a fantastic thing because it's the largest employer in the world.
Well, if we ever get rid of the IRS, that's going to change things too for people. It might change it for the automobile business too, to where people might be able to buy instead of worrying about the tax man coming.
Well, when you look at the last administration, the numbers moved up, not down, from 10 years to 11 years to 12 years holding on to their cars.
Right.
And when people are holding on to their cars for 12 years, what do you think a 12-year-old car is worth, or a 10-year-old car, 8-year-old car?
1 minute.
There's not much value there. And so then they're going to trade in, and they have a bucket of bolts not worth a whole lot. Now the trade cycle will change. The used car inventory will pick up. We'll have more lease returns, which we lost close to 3 million lease returns over the last year. People were refinancing the residuals. And so these certified cars were not filling up the lots like everybody was hoping. So they were having to go to auction, pay auction prices. Prices were up. Now we're going to see a slow transition for the good for you, the consumer, when it comes to your automotive needs. Quick break. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. I'm Kurt Chase with the great one, Big Wheeled Bo Carver. We'll be right back. Good morning, Miss Burrows.
That's
Keith Cornell.
We were raised in the same church together in Beaumont, Texas. How about that?
You see my buddy Keith Cornell on there?
I don't see him yet.
Keith Cornell is the first guy I ever did a dip of snuff with.
Oh, boy, the last time too, right?
It didn't do good. I stayed the night with him one night, and we sat there, we did dip of snuff, and that room started spinning.
Same with me, man.
Yep.
That was it for me one time. And it was at a David Allen Coe concert in Beaumont, Texas. And I'm going like, my buddy, he was drove a big truck, and snuffed it and all that, Cowboys type guy. And we sat about on the second row. He said, "Hey, you want to try some of this?" I said, "I don't know." "Oh, come on, Dad." I'd put a little pinch between my cheek and gum like old Walt Garrison said to do. And man, I couldn't get that.
Go, brother.
I couldn't get it out of my mouth quick enough. And I was sick, dog. I just had a drink cup, and I just kind of regurgitated in that. And that was it. I went to the restroom, put water and everything on me, just trying to get back to life. I finally did, but it took a while. I'll tell you that. I don't know how these guys do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess they get used to it eventually, but the buzz I got off of that sucker was unbelievable.
I really, brothers. I mean, guys like Keith Cornell and his brother, just good salt of the earth people that you grew up with. And you know, I'm really blessed to have a lot of people that I knew in life, just good people, and Keith's one of those. Good morning, Linda Davis. Thanks for joining us here on the Automotive Ed Radio Show.
Good morning, Linda. Oversees the Toys for Tots in North Texas.
I remember when I was working on a ranch in Quitman, Texas. No, Winsboro. And we're out there, and Pawpaw pulled up, and he pulled out this big old square thing and a buck knife. And he goes,
well, that was chewing tobacco there, though.
And it was called Bull of the Woods.
Oh, baby.
And he goes, you're going to need this. I said, what
You're going to need it.
Yeah.
For what reason?
For moisture in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
So he said, put this on the side of your mouth, and next thing you know, I'm spitting black. I mean, it was so nasty. And man, I'm staggering down the old hay fields. They're laughing their butts off at me. And I'm trying to hit these bay hells, you know, because the tractor ain't stopping.
No.
You never wanted the tractor to stop. Mr. Drab was not a happy guy. But boy, did they have a lot of fun with Kurt. With that Bull of the Woods. I think, you know, I'd rather have cottonmouth than put that stuff in my mouth.
Well, that's what the baseball players used to do, is chewing tobacco. I mean, their big old chaw out the cheek. You know?
Yep.
And but I don't think they can do that in the pros anymore. They can't do tobacco anymore, can they?
I don't know.
I've never seen them.
We had Beech Nut, Red Man, and Bull of the Woods.
Bull of the Woods.
That was and the Bull of the Woods was that plug tobacco.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Straight up, baby.
I'm telling you,
100 proof
you're
tobacco.
one heck of a man. I mean, I don't know how those guys chewed that Bull of the Woods out there in the hayfield, but I mean, when they spit, it was just black. And Mr. Drab said, "You'll get used to it." And he said, "Get you a little chaw." And when we're sitting out back, and get used to it, because it'll help you without, you know, from getting dehydrated. So that doesn't make any sense. You're putting tobacco in your mouth and you're spitting. I could be retaining that versus spitting out something that don't taste good.
Yeah, I think that was a sales pitch to you to get you to do it.
I remember the first time I came home, emptied my pocket, and I had to sing a Red Man. My dad's like, "What is this?" I said, "Oh, Mr. Drab gave it. It's so you don't get cotton mouth."
So Patty laughs at the day. Probably laughed.
Ooh, doggy. Good morning, Mark Bement. Thanks for joining us here on the Automotive Ed Radio Show. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Burleson Nissan, 35 in Renfro Road. I was just down there, and the new Armada's in, and they have the Pro X model down there in white that Justin Crane, the managing partner, and I went through. I got to tell you, twin turbo V6, no more V8s. And Nissan's knocked it out of the park. If you have a people mover in your future, stop over and see Justin Crane, Burleson Nissan, 35 in Renfro Road, and drive the new Armada. Call and make your appointment. If you go to burlesonnissan.com, that's burlesonnissan.com, make the appointment, and everything about this vehicle, I didn't find anything I went, God, that's an ugly front end, or why did they put these wheels on it? I mean, I'm really picky about this kind of stuff. I liked from bumper to bumper, enjoyed it. When I get in there and sat down, the layout is absolutely fantastic. No blind spots. The design, the leather pattern on the seats off the hook, they've really done well with a total redesign of the new Armada. And then you've got the brand new, totally redesigned Murano. I wasn't sure if they were going to shelf Murano or keep it. They redesigned it, and boy, did they badge up a nice-looking rig. And then you have 5 vehicles under $30,000, 3 vehicles under $25,000, which is better than what the average used car is selling for. Brand new. The place, Burleson Nissan, 35 in Renfro Road. Ask for Justin Crane, managing partner. Let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge Radio Show. That's burlesonnissan.com. All right.
Well, find somebody online, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Let's go to the phone lines. We have Ralph Paul with us. Good morning, Ralph. How are you, buddy? Is Ralph with us?
He should be, yeah.
Hello, Ralph.
I'm here.
There you are. What are you doing?
Wake up.
Have that cup of coffee, buddy. Come join us.
He must be having some bad connection out where he's at.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Now we
Okay.
do. You're
We
going
can
in
hear
and
you.
out.
Can you hear us?
I break 1-9. He's going in and out.
Oh,
Hello.
I can hear you.
Talk.
Hello.
Well,
There you go.
you got to talk,
Can you hear me
Ralph.
now?
You got to keep talking. Keep talking, buddy.
Just keep talking.
Good morning, gentlemen.
There it is.
There's our buddy. What's going on today? This is Ralph
well-
Paul, the owner of your CBD store in Keller. And I got to tell you, Ralph, when we went on our cruise and we didn't take our CBD products with us, boy, did we notice a difference. When we got home, we started back up. Now we're back on track. Let's talk about some of the products. And you got new products again coming in the store at your CBD store, Keller.com.
Yes, sir. We hear a lot of that at our store. Keep in mind, this isn't drugs. What we hear is, I ran out a couple days ago and I forgot how good I was feeling. But next week, or this week coming up, we have a 90-day trim challenge. And that is a weight loss product. And what it does, there's no stimulants or caffeine in it. It triggers the CB1 receptors in your brain, so you're not hungry. And it's a 90-day contest. And first place is a $300 store credit. Second place is a $200 store credit, and $100 for third place. And we also have matched up with other local companies. And so there's a 1-month free gym membership for Outlaw in Keller. And then Freeform Chiropractors, they're going to do some health talks. And we did this contest 2 years ago, and the winner lost 30 pounds in 90 days. Second place was 22, and third place was 16. And over a period of time, my wife has lost about 25 pounds. So it's been a very, very productive product, and we sell a lot of it.
Well, the place, your CBD store in Keller, my wife and I, we love our nighttime gummies. And it's not about the high, it's about the health. It's not like you just take one and just knocks you completely out. You get a better night's sleep. I did damage to my knee, and I have been using that pain cream every night before I go to bed, and I am pain-free. From the seltzers now to the, you have a new brain product. Talk about that, Ralph.
The Brain Boost has a very small amount of caffeine in it, but it's more of an energy drink. And it has lion's mane, which is considered the smart mushroom. And it's a little bit more of give you energy and focus. And so the Brain Boost is a very, very popular product. And it isn't like a Red Bull or a coffee. It's just more of a focus and a little bit of energy. And we've had some real success with that product. 0 sugar and only 5 calories, and along with all our other seltzers. And last month we sold 11 cases of it.
Wow.
Yeah, the thing about it is, let's get educated, because you know as well as I do, it's not one size fits all. And people have, gone into gas stations or convenience stores, and the people behind the counter, they don't know anything about it. It's just put up there for the owner to sell and get a little bit of royalty off of it. For you want to have that discussion, because, a one-on-one is paramount in your industry for the consumer to know what they're putting on their body or in their body.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one shoe doesn't fit all. So, for example, the gummies, we have about 5 or 6 different types of gummies for sleep. And what works for you doesn't work for me. And usually when people buy something, we sample other products. And, we call people back after 7 days because we want to know what their journey is and help them with their journey. So, again, there's so many variables. And that's why, like, when people buy it in a grocery store, they buy it one time and that's it. Just because they don't know how much to take or what to take. So there's just a lot of variables, and we really pride ourselves on educating the customer.
Yeah, because it's all different. One of the mixes that Hannah makes is for people for uplifting. For me, it puts me to sleep or just relaxes me. Not so much so, the sativa versus the indica, it could be different from everybody. And that's why, you try a little bit. If it doesn't work, come back and see it, and let's reformulate it. But the health benefits, because you're the only one USDA certified organic. But here again, it needs to come with instructions, a one-on-one where you're finding out what's wrong, what's going on. and also you can help out the pets as well.
Absolutely. We have a lot of pet products. We have Chillin' Out for hyper dogs. We have Moving Easy for older dogs. And then we have a probiotic also. So we have a lot of different products for, they have an endocannabinoid system just like a human being. So we sell a lot of pet products, and especially during the storms and things of that nature, July 4th, boy, we usually sell out.
All right. So before we go, tell everybody how they get to sign up for the Trim Challenge.
Well, that's going to be this Wednesday is the weigh-in. So just give us a call. You can sign up over the phone. Obviously, we have a scale there that we weigh people, and then all the other benefits come along with it. So it's a 90-day contest, and we'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, and if anything, you're going to meet great people. You'll understand more about the CBD world. It's not about the high; it's about the health. That's what Ralph and Carol are retired. They don't have to do this, but when you show up to their place there on Main Street in Keller, you'll see why they do it. The testimonials are heartwarming, heartfelt, and the results are incredible because I've seen Bo and I saw a scenario with a young kid there that was had a lot of difficulties in life, and through meeting with the moms and dads and helping them out, he's a whole different kiddo. Yeah. So we don't make any medical promises or medical statements. We just say we see the results of what's being done, Ralph, and that's why it's so important to sit down and have a conversation where you're not just throwing stuff in your body going, well, that's a bunch of junk. It didn't work. That initial interview is paramount.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that same scenario you mentioned, we still auto ship to them. They live in Grand Prairie, and every month we still send product to them.
I'm waiting for the weight gain contest. When is that going to happen?
Well, just eat over here every night.
We have a couple customers that take our gummies for weight gain.
How about that?
And yeah, and we had to experiment with that because that was a new one for us. But we have 2 customers that take our product because they don't want, their body doesn't want to eat, and so this helps them eat, and it's really interesting.
That's that's cool.
Well, the place to go is your CBD store, Keller.com. That's your CBD store, Keller.com. Check out the products. There's QR codes. You can see exactly what you're putting in or on your body, what your pets are taking, and bring in 2025 in a good, clean fashion. And then the Trim Challenge starts this Wednesday. We'll be promoting that more. Ralph, give Carol a big hug for us. We'll see you when you're back.
You got it, gentlemen. Thanks for all your help. Okay, God bless.
You too, buddy.
Bet. Your CBD store, Keller.com. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Good morning, Mark.
Well, a lot of people joined.
Edward Phil, good morning.
That's David Philbeck, my true dear friend that met in South Korea while we were doing our USO military tour over there, and lives in South Carolina. Great person, and he's a big follower. And you helped him put a price on his Corvette that he needed to sell here. Remember that a few months ago? And he got it, and everything was good.
Beautiful.
So he was good to go, and that's what we do here on the show. So if you're,
I like Corvettes.
I was beginning to think you might be starting to like
just kind of.
But so if you can tell friends and neighbors to join us either on the radio or on our social media sites each Saturday, we're here to help. So, if you tell them, and what you can do is really help. Also is if you're tuned in right now, there's a little white arrow at the top left-hand corner. Just hit that. It'll take you out, but you'll still see us. Then right underneath us, there's a share button to the right. You hit that share button, and then there'll be a blue button that says share now. Or you can even it says you want to make a comment with it before you hit that blue share now. You can do it or just hit the share now. And that goes to your timeline. That means people you're connected with will see the broadcast, and then they can learn some things that might help them along the way. And if they don't, that's fine too. But, it'll help them understand things that they may not know about. And I guarantee if that you do that and you save them some time and money and effort, they're going to appreciate it. So that'll help everybody all the way around, win-win for everybody. So just do that. Then you can click back on and join with us and make comments there too. But that's the way to do it. And if they don't do any of the Facebook stuff, tell them to go to YouTube, because anybody can do that. All they got to do is go to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge radio show, and it'll take it to them, and then they can watch it without being on a social media site like Facebook. We also have it on LinkedIn as well, so you can tell anybody if they might be a LinkedIn person and not be on Facebook. So they can do that as well, and tell them they can search the Automotive Edge radio show there. So we're just here to make sure that people get connected to things that they don't know about, to save them time and money. And that's what we're here for every Saturday morning from 8 to noon.
If you want to help out with our Adopt a Teacher program, be sure to subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and type in theautomotiveedge.com.
But it's, .com?
No, The Automotive Edge.
But a radio show.
Yeah.
On YouTube, you've got to add the radio show part, because that it takes you a lot of different places. But to get the right connection to us, you have to put the Automotive Edge radio show, and then that'll take you to us.
Yeah, we get 1,000 subscriptions. We're going to get a bunch of money to help our teachers. And so there you go. Go to YouTube, the Automotive Edge radio show.
Correct.
Type that in, subscribe, and we hit 1,000, we get 1,000.
30 seconds.
And you would not believe what $1,000 will do for our teachers across the DFW area. We just took care of 62 teachers the last month before they went on Christmas break, and loaded them up. And we took care of another 80, whatever it was prior to that. And, the supplies only last so long, and then we re-up, and now there's a bunch more teachers found out about it, and they've sent over their list. So more subscriptions, more money for our teachers. Go to YouTube, the Automotive Ed radio show, subscribe, and help us out. Good morning, Cynthia. Thanks for joining us here on the Automotive Ed radio show. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Big Wheels Body Shop, 35 and Rise Zinger Road. If you're one of those 3/4 tons or bigger and something happened while all this bad weather hit, hopefully you're okay. Go to bigwheelsbodyshop.com. That's bigwheelsbodyshop.com. Get Chris or Jordan come out and take a look at your rig and get it started, getting it back to on the road and getting you to and from more making money. A lot of you guys that are driving the big trucks, the box trucks, 18-wheeler, downtime is expensive. Get it over the right place, doing the right work, and expediting it done the right way. And the place, Big Wheels Body Shop, 35 and Rise Zinger Road, right across from the new Crowley Stadium. Or you can find them online at bigwheelsbodyshop.com. Okay, top seller for 2025, and I don't think this is going to change. I don't. When it comes to pickup trucks, the F-150, the Chevy Silverado, and the Ram pickup trucks are still killing it. The truck market is really, really, really good. And why I say that is, if you think about it, in December, when all the dealers sent me over their incentives, and you're getting $18,000 off the price of a truck from MSRP, $18,000 off. I was looking at these things going, $58,000 truck for, $40,000. You're going, how do they do it? Because when I was in the car business, the biggest markup was $4,000, and it started shrinking as time went on. The manufacturer between the cost of the vehicle and invoice really shrunk. I didn't get it, but boy, did they pound out the trucks. And here's the cool thing about it. If you were in on that and you got that big of a discount on an automobile, you're not getting hurt on trade-in. It's the only product that does that. Any other vehicle that came out, let's say they had the Toyota Camry and they were giving $12,000 off. Well, that's going to affect the resale as people are bringing in Camrys. You buy a Volkswagen Tiguan and They're giving $8,000 off as you're coming in. That's going to affect the resale. Pickup trucks, since we're the truck capital of the world, it doesn't affect them. And that's what's really great about buying pickup trucks, whether it's a small truck, a mid-sized truck, or a full-size truck. These big discounts are not hurting the trucks at all. And hopefully you took advantage of that over the month of December, but there's still some big discounts going on in the truck market. Right now at Eldorado Chevrolet, you're getting $8,000 off MSRP, true MSRP. And you got $8,000 off of Tahoes and Suburbans. So all the big stuff right now, there's a really good push with big discounts and incentives, and get them while they're hot, because we know for a fact that drill baby drill is going to come to fruition. Gas prices are going to come down. You're going to see that they're very affordable. I mean, they weren't designed to get, 35 miles to the gallon, but they're great people movers, and the gas will be affordable with the new administration coming in. And then next 4 years, we need the next right administration, the next right administration. So all of this stuff that we use, we're not having to downsize and over maximize the vehicles that we need. And if you back up in the, 2009, when we had the big financial crunch, there was a lot of people that were buying products that wasn't advantageous for their business or their family because they had to downsize. They were wearing them out. And I was getting stuff traded in that were on their last leg at 75,000 miles, which, the average vehicle right now, if you take care of it, you're looking at 150,000 miles. I mean, they keep making them better and better. And so with that, with the prices where we're going to start seeing everything in the economy coming up, there's some phenomenal deals out there on the big SUVs. You drive a big SUV.
I do. I have the Eddie Bauer Expedition, and it's big.
I like them.
Yeah, I went and picked up some wood from my Amish Mafia brother the other day and piled it in the back, laid a big tarp over in the back, laid all the seats down, and piled that sucker full of wood. Bada bing, bada bang, man.
One of my favorite Fords ever was the Ford Excursion.
Ah.
You remember that?
No, not really.
It was way bigger than your Expedition.
Oh, wow. See, I don't. Oh, man,
it was
maybe.
Huge. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a 3/4 ton.
Was it bigger than the Suburban?
As big.
As big.
Yeah. And if you have a 3/4 ton diesel Excursion, you would be shocked what that thing's worth. I mean, you talk about a land yacht. That is a land yacht.
That's true.
And so things are going to keep getting better with the truck line. And then flip things around. Coming up in the next segment, I'm going to talk to you about some of these cars and manufacturers that the residuals are going through the roof. And what does that mean to you, the consumer? Well, it means that the higher the residual, the better the resale, whether you're leasing or not. The higher the residual, the better flexibility you have buying that vehicle. If you want to trade in early, if you want to drive it until your note's over, and then you still have great trade-in value based on two things, condition and miles. And we've got a whole list of those. There's some not surprising, but surprising. It doesn't make sense, does it? Not surprising, but surprising to me. Where the resale values have gone in the auto market today. And then as everything,
that's surprising.
It is surprising. Is every time something comes out, what I do is I go to the dealership, and the first thing I do is I say, let me see your residuals. And I go right down the residuals and start looking at what the manufacturer has to say about their own vehicle. And there's some out there that are just absolutely killing it. And we'll just talk about one of them. We still got a few minutes here. The Hyundai lineup. The Hyundai, Kia, Genesis lineup is leaps and bounds better than it's ever been. The sales are through the roof. Why? Because, well, not only do they put the longest warranty on there, 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the vehicle, but the residuals continue to go up. And how you know that is if you log on to, let's say, Classic Kia Carrollton, And look what Jesse Hull has posted on their lease programs. The reason the payments are so low is because the residuals are so high without a massive down payment. And that's one thing you got to be careful. Well, the payment's really low, so this must be a good car to lease. But when you look at the down payment, you're like, wait a minute here. That's not a good balance. But when you have a good product with a high residual and a small down payment to lease, and your payment's anywhere between 40 to 50% less on a retail buy, that's a good product, even if you choose to buy it. Because that means that after 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to have less depreciation than a lot of vehicles are out in the marketplace. So the Kia line and Hyundai line, their numbers are up, and we'll be covering that coming up. I mean, big numbers where they're moving the needle and doing really well. And I just go back to many years ago when Kia and Hyundai came in. Nobody knew what was going to go on with it. Nobody was like jumping up and down and all excited about the vehicles. Hyundai stayed, Kia went away. And all these guys that had Kia franchise, it was over. And what did they do? They went back and retooled, redyed, redid everything, brought it back, and now it's gangbusters.
Were they part of Tata Motors then too as well? That's what changed it then, wasn't it?
Yeah, but now it's all Kia and Hyundai Motor Company.
Oh, it's not even Tata Motors anymore. But that's what brought it together, wasn't it? Originally,
well,
Tata
what they
Motors?
did was the guy over in India, where everything came from. Everything. I'm sorry, India. Over in Korea, brand new platform team, brand new total design, brand new motor, brand new everything, and he came out and just lifted this company to a whole new level, plus the advertising.
Right.
If you remember many years ago, what made the Kia Soul so popular?
They had the guys jumping out of it. What they call them?
The dancing rats.
Yeah, rats.
Whatever they were.
Yeah,
moles, rats,
yeah, exactly.
gerbils.
Right.
And the Kia's Soul sales went through the roof.
Right.
Everybody thought so. They had a good product with good marketing. I mean, think about it. When you got in the car, your speakers flashed with the music, and they knew what to target and what to do. So they revamped the entire company, and look what they did. And, in Tata Motors, they bought back. Now they have Land Rover and they have Jaguar. There's a lot of companies that have bought back and redid, and the people with Kia Motors, Hyundai Motor Company, they went back to the drawing board and said, hang on just a second. Not so much Hyundai, because Hyundai never left. And said, let's revamp this thing. Let's retool and die this company. And now look at Kia. The new badging, their new lineups, their new products.
Are they separate from Tata Motors now? Or
yeah, they have nothing to do with Tata Motors.
Oh, okay. Well, good for them.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Good morning, Cynthia, and my sweet cousin, Dorothy.
And look all the hearts she's given us. You got one more heart than I did. Oh, come on, Dorothy.
Dorothy, I heard from Nancy. She reached out to me the other day. And then I reached up to Eddie, and Eddie sounds like he's doing really, really good.
Yeah, you got one more heart than I did.
He said he's going through 2 days of therapy, or twice a day he's doing therapy so he can get on a cruise ship.
Oh. Are they having a family cruise planned?
I don't know who he's going with. But yeah, I need to get up north this year, see family. In a long time since I've been up there. Well, I've been up there, but I haven't been up there to hang out with the family.
All right.
I need to get back up there.
Well, Dorothy at one time moved to Florida, didn't she?
Yep.
And then she went back?
Yep.
What part of New York are they in?
Most of the people, well, at the time, everybody was out in Massapequa Park, out in Long Island.
Oh, I got you.
Eddie's in Jersey. And I don't know if Kathy and Mary and everybody are in Massapequa Park still. I know that Nancy's in Pennsylvania. So
Just in that northeast area for sure.
I love the city of Pittsburgh. We'll never go back to Philadelphia.
Huh?
It's not the town of brotherly love by any stretch of imagination.
Well, that is
to me.
You talking about a con game there? No doubt.
The only thing that I liked about Philadelphia was that big market that they had.
The Philadelphia cheesecakes are good too, or Philadelphia cheese steak sandwiches.
I didn't care for them.
Didn't
they put cheese goo on it?
Oh, I don't think the one I had that, but
they don't put sliced cheese on that bad boy. They put that cheese goo on it.
Cheese whiz.
Yeah, whatever it is. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't. I think Chicago's got an incredible cheesesteak. I think. Have you ever eaten at Portillas?
Mm-hmm. Here?
Yeah.
No.
Go into Portillas. There's one on 35.
W.
Yep, and go into Portillas and get you a
Philadelphia
cheesesteak.
Okay.
It'll blow you away.
All right.
It's butter.
All right.
And it's wet.
Good. I like that too. You know that.
I don't.
Well, it sounds like right at my alley.
Yep.
Portillas, here I come.
Yeah. I made a big old pot of chili the other day, and Melinda went and got a couple of their dogs. And boy, it's got that nice snap, the casing on it. Oh, butter.
Sweet.
Yeah, I liked it. Portillo.
45 seconds.
Dorothy had a comment for you there. Yeah. Going with his sister Teresa.
Is what?
She said that happy that he's going. Great. Eddie is going with his sister Teresa, I guess, on the cruise.
Huh.
There you go. Thank you, Dorothy. I'm feeling the love now.
Teresa would be his cousin.
Oh, she said
his sister is.
Oh, she said my sister, Dorothy's sister. Yeah. Okay, I got it. I got it. I read it wrong. Well, I read it right.
Sister, Mary, Nancy, and Kathy.
Okay. Cool.
Clint Moore, good morning. You know Clint?
I know him from here, from the show.
Man, me and Clint go way back. Way back. Way back so far, I don't remember.
Good morning, Clint. Thanks for joining us today, brother.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment show is brought to you by Highly Accurate Fort Worth. Our buddy David Gomez, even though he's, limping.
Cripple.
Got a little hitch in his giddy up. He is still selling cars from the Integra to the MDX, the RDX, the TLX, and now the new ZDX, one of the hottest selling electric vehicles in the marketplace. And what's cool is it doesn't look like any other electric vehicle. A lot of them, you look at their front end and go, oh, that's electric. You don't on the ZDX. I've test driven it. I've driven it. Oh, boy, did I drive it. I hope nobody buys the one I test drove.
Well, you broke it in. Really, they might be wanting to buy it.
I did. It's the, I think, the best lineup for you get sport and luxury both combined together. And they got great lease programs on right now. They got great retail programs right now. You got decent credit. You're going to get a great rate. And then you got Dean back in service, making sure that all of your service needs are taken care of. All in one place. It gets better, better, better from hello to congratulations at Highly Accurate Fort Worth. Log on, check out all their specials for this month at highlyaccuratefortworth.com. That's highlyaccuratefortworth.com. All right. Cars that are doing really well, and these are some vehicles that I would take a good look at, is the one that I think is really going to explode this year. And there's some dealers gave up their franchise because they didn't want to build separate buildings for them and spend the money, and that's the Genesis line.
Now, what do you mean spend? What were the dealers part of that had to build a
Hyundai?
Okay.
So you got Kia, Hyundai, Genesis, all the same company.
So Kia could have a separate building for Genesis, or
no? Genesis is the luxury line of Hyundai.
Okay, I got you.
And so they want it separate. They want it its own entity, like Cadillac and GMC and Chevrolet. Cadillac
Acura
wants
too,
their own
right?
gig.
All right.
And so that luxury line, they want their own lineup. And there's a lot of dealers like, wait a minute, these facilities are now, 20, 30, 40 million in dollars.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And if you're not selling those cars, that can backfire on you very, very quickly. But their G line, their GV line, I got to tell you, it's amazing when you drive the Hyundai, which is a great vehicle now. Residuals are really good. Then you go drive the Genesis. That 90 series is one of my all-time favorite. That one, they have just knocked that car out of the park. And if I could afford that car, I would have it in my driveway ASAP in the pearl white. Absolutely incredible automobile. Toyota's really moving the needle, which they've been kind of the leader of this line for many, many, many years. And that's their hybrid technology. When they came out with the Prius many years ago, and I was working with a dealer to help promote all of the municipalities driving Priuses, and we sold a ton of them. And it has a regenerative system on it and does very, very well. The Camrys are all now hybrids, and then your Corollas. Your Grand Highlander, which is coming down the pipeline now again. It was on hold. Now they started releasing these vehicles and building them again. One of the hottest vehicles in today's market. The all-new 4Runner. You're not going to see this vehicle until April. There's a lot of people that are contacting me going, how do I do it? Just go over to Freeman Toyota and see Jerry or BJ and get your order in. Get your order in. And they're not building these vehicles and putting all the crazy stuff all over them and marking them up $3,000-$4,000. They're not doing that. You get your good, fair price. That's why they're on the affordable side of the Metroplex there at Freeman Toyota, and order it. And then their Land Cruiser. Toyota hung on the Land Cruiser for a very, very, very long time and sold it similar to what the GX models were doing with Lexus. So you had the GX 470, then you had the Land Cruiser. And a lot of people said, well, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm just going to go ahead and buy a Lexus. There's no need to buy a Toyota. And so they have lowered that price down to the 60s, low 60s, and there's over 100 options you can put on that vehicle. Incredible. When I was going through their option lineup and ways to order it and things to put on that vehicle, I was blown away. But now you have a vehicle that is a great on-road, off-road vehicle. And if you watch the video and watch what these people are doing with it, it's just phenomenal. Whoever made that decision with Toyota to make the Land Cruiser a good on-road, off-road, and give luxury with a aggressive ride and aggressive feel about it to go camping or back up to the lake and set up whatever and do some fishing, they knocked it out of the park with the new Toyota Land Cruiser. So Toyota, I'm so glad to see they're going down the hybrid road, and Bo talked about that earlier, is that hybrid technology is what's going to dominate the market for the next 4 years. It's not going to be electric vehicles. That needs to stop, and it needs to be its own entity that if people want it, they want it, and quit turning tons and tons and tons of earth to extract very small amount product to build these batteries. When building electric vehicles, everybody up in Washington, all these morons up there that don't have a clue of what they're talking about, saying that electric cars are going to be so much better on the environment. It's not. It hasn't been since they started it. They can't show me any proof that electrification is better for the climate, which was the Chicken Little syndrome that we said, that Al Gore started, that's any better than what the cars that they're building with these new systems, these ULEVs, SULEVs. They're doing their own thing at the factory before the government mandates. They also want to put out good, clean, burning cars that are reliable, durable, and last as long as you need it to last. It's just that simple. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break, top of the hour. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
All right.
Where you going? thanks to everybody for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Stick around. Y'all can't hear that. Maddie plays a lot of good music, but Sony Entertainment deletes all of that. So if we play it, then they delete the show. So we have to turn that part down where, unfortunately, you can't hear the music that we're playing in the background. But thanks, everybody, for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. Get everybody that you can subscribe to the YouTube page, because once you do, we hit 1,000. We're getting $1,000 for our Adopt a Teacher program, and every year we try to raise a little over $10,000 to help our teachers out. And we're getting close. They've only got 6 months of school left before another year is over, and the teachers are having to spend their own money to keep these classrooms functional. And we want to prevent that. We want to make sure these teachers are able to teach and not take their hard-earned money and pump it back into the classroom. So be sure, like and share, and let all your friends and family know to subscribe to us on the YouTube page. That's the Automotive Edge Radio Show. And let's get those numbers up. And we're going to get a nice chunk of money. And we'll be posting. I met a girl on the cruise ship. Get this. Her husband went to school with my son.
You told me that. That was kind of cool.
And she builds websites.
Yeah.
And she's going to go in and redo my website for me. And we'll be posting all the pictures with the teachers, and mainly with the kiddos holding up all these school supplies. I tell you, there's nothing cooler. We had one classroom they bought. It was a computer room. Well, this is the brainchild behind some of these people in Upper Armstrong. They built these computer rooms, got the kids computers, and they forgot one thing.
Internet?
They didn't have anything to sit on.
Oh, that's bad as not having the internet, for sure.
Yeah, so we bought 20 new chairs, adjustable chairs for the kids. And you're just going, this is just unbelievable. But then we had a school in Dallas. We bought all of their equipment for outside. Remember the old tether balls?
Oh, yeah. Those are cool.
And someone stole all their equipment, and we're really sad. So we replenished all their equipment, took the basketball nets off the basketball goals. Who does that?
Crazy.
Then we bought the metal ones and had a guy go out there and put some welds on it. Yeah, it's just nuts out there sometimes. But that's what we do year round. We have teachers that call, and coming towards the end of the year, they like to have nice little things to give to the kids that are doing well. There's nothing better than a kid getting called up in front of the class going, your essay was the best, or you scored perfect on this, and they have a little something to give. One teacher gives out Laffy Taffy. And the kids can't wait to get a Laffy Taffy.
I bet.
So it's the little things that we try to do to make the classrooms a whole lot better. So be sure to subscribe.
We just got a new subscriber, Mark Bement. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Mark Bennett.
Is that how you say it? It's Bement. That's what I said. B-E-M-E-N-T.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Thank you for doing that. We'd like everybody else to do that too, if you don't mind, to subscribe. Even though you might watch us a lot more on Facebook, if you go subscribe, that will really help push that up, what Kurt's talking about helping our teachers, and move the YouTube channel up a notch or two for viewing for the other folk on YouTube. So thank you a lot for that, Mark. Thanks so much.
Everyone helps. We hit 1,000. We're getting 1,000, and that $1,000. I'm telling you, when you get on Amazon and start ordering, which we did, that money goes quick. But when you walk in and you hand a teacher a bunch of school supplies, they're nothing cooler than the look on that teacher's face that, somebody cares about the education system. Yeah. We know it's not doing well.
No, it's not. But hopefully it'll change coming up. There's some ideas that's going to be brought out in this new regime coming in that I think has got some great ideas about it. So We'll see if that doesn't help.
Get rid of that Department of Education.
You mean the no Department of Education?
Unbelievable.
Well, it's just amazing. That's where all of our money goes to waste. All these different departments that are just completely crazy.
You know what?
Money suckers.
Do you think they need to teach handwriting?
Well, I do. I mainly because basically that's how you are known by your signature. You're talking about like that scripted handwriting? Yeah,
Cursive?
Cursive. Yeah, I think that's how most people sign their name is with that way. I don't know anybody that prints their
I think
signature.
there's 13 states I saw, or maybe a little bit more. Don't remember exactly, that actually teach cursive.
Well,
I don't know why they don't teach kids to write.
Texas took it out, but I think they're bringing it back.
Well, yeah, they're one that does. But I think the more they write, the more they understand. The more you type, the less you understand. And I think that speech needs to be a mandated course. And I think they need to offer Toastmasters at every school.
Everybody needs a good piece of toast.
Yeah.
Butter.
I took Toastmasters, one of the best things I ever did.
Or Dale Carnegie, too.
I never did Dale Carnegie. Couldn't afford it.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Good morning, Mr. Sanchez. Joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, and everybody else that's joined us. Be sure to subscribe on our YouTube page, the Automotive Edge Radio Show, and that creates funds for our teachers. The more signatures, the more money we get, and it goes directly 100% to the classroom. This segment of the show is brought to you by Classic Kia Carrollton. I was just out there with my buddy Jesse Hull, and from the new K4, K5 Sportage, Soul, Carnival, they got it going on. Great APRs, great incentives, low pricing, great lease programs. They're ready to move inventory, and it comes down to the place. Right there at 35 and 121, stop in to see my buddy Jesse Hull, managing partner, or Wesley Gerhardt, general sales manager. Let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge Radio Show and enjoy your Kia experience. In fact, I met over there. Well, my nose itches. I met over there with Bo and Barbara Ann and a friend of Barbara Ann's. And
working partner, working relationship.
We hooked him up.
Yes, sir.
He's a happy camper.
He loves that vehicle. I ask him all the time. Oh, yeah, but I love it.
There you go. The place, ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. That's ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. Ask for our buddy Wesley and let him know you're listening to the show and enjoy your Kia experience. It's just that simple. Okay. Here's another line of vehicles that I think, and I don't know why more people don't put it on their list. When you look at the new Nissan Rogue, you know, it's one of the top sellers in the world. Top sellers in the world. And a lot of people go, well, you know, we have this, and this. I'm telling you, just test drive. Here's the cool thing. If you go to theautomotiveedge.com and you click on Ask Kurt, leave me your number, and you just want to go out and test drive products, we'll set you up where all you need is your license, your insurance. You drive and you go home. You're not committed to negotiate a car deal. Nothing. You get to drive it, open up all the doors, put it in your garage, fill it with everything you would normally do, and then decide if that vehicle is good for you or not. That's the way you do it. And that new Nissan Rogue, the new Nissan Kicks, totally redesigned from last year to this year. If they didn't put badging on it, it would be a completely different car. You wouldn't go, wow, that's Nissan Kicks. You wouldn't know it. And that's what's cool about what Nissan is doing when you go to totally redesign. The Murano, here again, I was going, you know, how many lineups are they going to have in the SUV market with the Sentra and the Altima and the Versa? Well, they kept it, redesigned it, and I was there on Thursday and got to jump inside. Unbelievable. I mean, Nissan is really, and here's the thing about Nissan. if you like cars that when you hit the gas, you really get that acceleration, Nissan, from the time of inception, when you go back to their 200 series or, their 220Z, 240Z, 260, 280, is that they're designed for torque. And those cars will get, just like their Infiniti, which is Nissan's luxury brand, they're all designed for torque. You hit the gas on it doesn't matter what model, whether it's a Versa, the Altima, any of the models, they deliver response, they deliver handling, acceleration, the whole 9 yards. And then the new Armada, which I talked about earlier, you talking about a big people's mover with all the creature comforts. I mean, they have this thing on the console now. You just slide your phone into it and it's charging. You don't have to worry about wires or anything on it. The sound system off the hook. And whoever designed the interior, the leather on that, kudos to you. Someone give him a Dr. Pepper. He knocked it out of the park. Electric rear folding seats. There's so many creature comforts on that new Armada. Nissan is really gone to the next level, and you need to put that on. That is a must-see for me to drive. So I've had so many people. In fact, one of the guys in my Bible study, they were looking for a car for their daughter, Hannah. And I said, have you looked at this? Have you looked at that? Have you looked? He goes, well, I was only honed in on this. And he bought something completely different. And that's why I say, get out and enjoy it. And by going through the Automotive Edge radio show, if you go to theautomotiveedge.com and you click on Ask Kurt, we don't do all the back and forth and the pressure selling and try to bring in and grind on you after you've driven a vehicle to try to get you to buy a car. That's not the way it works through the radio show. You tell me, Bo calls me up and says, hey, I'm looking at this vehicle. And I tell Bo, well, hey, there's 3 others that really fall into that category, and we're going to set you up to test drive it. You get to drive it and go home. And then make a decision. Get home, and him and Barbara Ann sit and talk and decide, hey, we like this, I didn't like this. And then you go back out and retest drive it or whatever. But that's where, the rubber hits the road, no pun intended, to decide on a vehicle. If you're not in that vehicle a good 30 to 45 minutes, you really don't know what these new vehicles will do for you because they all smell good.
It's like going out on a first date and wanting to marry them without maybe going out with a few other people to see what they're like, right? But so that's a great idea, and you should do that. We have a question. This is from Billy Conroy. He says, are these normal fees? Child safety fee, $3. Deputy fee, $10, a dock fee, $225, $225, road and bridge, $20, replacement fee, $16.75.
Replacement fee.
Yeah, that's what it says here. He's asking, are those normal fees? I don't know what he's putting that to, or in conjunction with a particular vehicle.
Let me see your phone. I don't remember what you were saying.
Let's see.
Okay. Child safety fee, no. Road and bridge, yes. Replacement fee, no. Deputy fee, no. Okay, so when you're buying a car.
So road and bridge is about the only one on there. What's the dock fee?
It's documentary fee.
Okay, is that?
Yeah, doc fee is part of it.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're buying a vehicle, here's your fees. You have tax, title, and license, which is 6.25%. Then you have your license and registration. You have your documentary fee. You have your road and bridge. And then you have your vehicle inventory tax. That's it. There is nothing else. Anything else, put a line through it and say, not paying it. Because the bad part about you not reading your paperwork is the way they type all this in. It looks like it's standard part of the vehicle because that's the way they built the form for you to sign. Especially when it comes to dealer installed options. And you look at it and the font and everything is the same. So you're going down and go, well, mindset. Well, God, that must be legitimate. That must be real. That must be the deal because that's the way it's listed. No. When I was looking at a buyer's order from a friend of mine, he was in Oklahoma, and he goes, man, this thing got real expensive real quick. We marked through 6 things on that buyer's order. He goes, what do you mean? I said, mark through them. Tell them you're not interested. We're talking about thousands of dollars. So you have your selling price. Let's say you have a trade-in, and you're buying a car for $30,000. Your trade's worth $15,000. Okay, you're paying tax on $15,000 because you're only paying tax on the difference. And then whatever that tax is, then you have license, title, registration, road and bridge, documentary, vehicle inventory tax, and then if there's a payoff on the car, that gets added back into the note with a total balance to finance of whatever that number is. Nothing else on there is, unless you want it, where they put these deluxe packages, or, I mean, there's all sorts of crazy terminology. I mean, it's very confusing when you're reading down the buyer's order and you're not understanding. And because the font, the way the buyer's order set up, it all looks like it's mandated as part of the car deal. That's where you really need to understand your buyer's order and realize it's not. There could be a bunch of stuff on there, or a few things that have nothing to do with the vehicle at all. I saw one that said prep charges. I was like, prep charges? What was it? I can't remember what the other one was. It was crazy the way they had this thing titled. I asked what it was. He goes, "Oh, that's a special package we put on the car." And
what was it? What was the package?
The package was wheel locks,
Oh,
window tint, a bed liner, a trunk mat, and a vehicle locator tracking system on the car. And they called it a whatever package. And it was $2,995.
ooh.
And so they said, "What is that?" And the guy goes, "Well, all of that is already on the car. We can't take it off." And they said, "Well, what do we do?" I said, "Well, then tell them you want one without it. Call me when you have one coming in that doesn't have it on there." Now, some companies, when I asked my last insurance company if the tracking device, there was a deduction for it, they said no. Kind of like alarm systems. I remember back in the day when your insurance company, you would have that little Q&A with them. They would ask you about alarm systems. Oh, yeah, it's got a law. Okay, there's a deduct. Have you done this? Okay, there's a deduct. Those days are gone. When you tell them you have a tracking device on it, it goes by that company. Mine said no. I said, "I've got a tracking system on it. I have this, this, and this." They didn't care. They just didn't care. So it all depends on your company. But anyway, read your buyer's order. Tax, title, and license, road and bridge, vehicle inventory tax, documentary fee. That's it.
Unless you add the stuff you want.
Yeah.
Clint Moore says, "A great point about driving all in the segment. I have been looking at the Ford Maverick, went and drove the Chevy Colorado the other day with Jim up in McKinney. Great folks there at that dealership." So he's looking at different ones and getting a feel for the different vehicles.
And who's that?
This is Clint Moore.
Oh, hey, Clint. Good.
That's what we're here to do. So encourage people to do what you just did there, because you just might find out, hey, instead of getting stuck in a rut about what you might want, you might find something a lot better. Just like I said a while ago, you might think you like your girlfriend, so you try another one.
214-787-1190. Out of the mouth of Big Wheel Bo. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Oh,
Hello, Maddie.
Yeah, what's up?
Are we going to break?
I know.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
You usually tell us.
Hey,
You're right. I'm sorry.
okay.
Okay.
Whenever you
We're
want
going
to.
to break now.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Adios. That's funny.
So, did you ever have a girlfriend that you got to know and went rut-row?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. No doubt about it. You don't, and it's similar to driving a vehicle or having a vehicle. You don't really maybe notice it, 5 minutes in a vehicle, you think it's great. Couple of dates with the girlfriend, hey, it's pretty cool. About fifth or sixth, you go like, this ain't so hot anymore.
Yeah. What happened from then to now?
Yeah, exactly. and that's the same way driving a vehicle. You just drive it around the block. you're not getting what you need to know about that vehicle. So take it out. Like Kurt keeps saying, get it out there, take it out, drive it to where you drive back and forth to work and park it in your garage, or, don't just go around the block. Everybody thinks all brand new vehicles are great doing that.
Yeah.
I've never gotten in a brand new vehicle and gone around the block and thought the thing was great. The smell, not brand new. Everything's good there. So,
well, a lot of people do. They whip that thing around and
Uh-huh.
go, they've been in their car for so long. They get in that new one, that smell takes over, and they go, wow. And in my 37 years in the auto industry, you'd be surprised how many people have buyer's remorse.
And it's tough to have buyer's remorse after you sign the note.
Yeah.
Not a good thing to have. So,
yeah, they would call me up 2 weeks later going, Kurt, I got to get out of this car. I'm going,
it might be a lot.
okay.
It might be a lot easier to get out of a refrigerator, something like that you didn't like, and they might help you change it out. But getting out of a vehicle ain't gonna be quite the same. No, it's not. So anyway, that's good advice, and thank you, Clint, for sharing that information. Yeah, those folk up in McKinney are very, very cool people. Been with us a long time, and did they get 9 years in a row dealership of the year?
They announced that next month.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they did.
They're an 8-time dealership of the year there at McKinney Chevrolet, and we're probably going to get the 9 because they're top dog. Ty says he needs to test drive Kurt's new vet for a weekend. I'm sure he don't mind doing that, would you?
He would be
probably the
only one that I would say yes to.
And Ty,
who told him I got a new vet?
I ain't saying. Ty, when you come over now, you got to say, "Hey, I love your purple vet." Okay.
Oh boy, you had to go there, did you? Why do you got to do that, Bo?
I'm just saying, that's what she's got to do.
No, why do you?
That's what the color is.
Do I ever salt your wounds?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you do on a regular basis.
That's horrible.
Yeah, come on over, Ty. We'll let you take it out for a whole weekend too. That'd be great. Today would be a good time to take it.
Well, with friends like Bo, who needs anything else?
That's true, right? Yeah, but Ty, take care of it.
Ty's the man.
He would certainly know how to handle it.
Yeah, my older brother wanted to drive, and I told him no. And then my next older brother, he said, "Man, can you believe Kurt let me drive that car?" He was so mad. He called me, "Did you let Vinny drive it?" And I did. He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I like him more."
Is that the one that put gas in the diesel?
Yeah.
No wonder you wouldn't let him drive it.
That's one I did let.
Oh, I'm shocked at that.
Well, no, he what did he do? Yeah, he put the gas in there, but he didn't start it.
But I thought he put some in there.
Yeah, he did. He put gas in the diesel, but he didn't start it.
Okay,
so all they had to do was drop the tank,
okay.
And it only cost me $1,000.
And you let him drive your van?
No, I didn't. We just busted on my brother.
Oh, okay. There you go.
No one else has driven it but me.
I've ridden in it.
The last one I had, Ralph drove it. He just took it around the block. But I just tell them the people that drive it are the ones that can afford to replace it, because if anything happens to it, I want another car. I don't want that one back.
Well, Ronnie Swain was one. You let him was going to drive it. He's chickened out on it.
Yeah,
he said, "Nah, I don't want to do it."
He didn't get in it. Michael Persone. Good morning. Brian Bartley. Clint Tucker. Good morning. 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by the Chevy Dealership. The Chevy Dealership. Eldorado Chevrolet in McKinney. I'm telling you, APRs, no one's even close. Discounts, no one's even close. Real discounts, 8-time Chevy Dealer of the Year. There's a reason why, is that when people come up to buy cars, it's not all the crazy back and forth and all the rigmarole you got to go through. I wonder where they come up with rigmarole.
Probably the same place they got Yabba Dabba Doo.
or Hanakanapana.
or what do we call the wackadoodle doos?
Yeah, there you go.
It's a new language.
The place, Eldorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75 in McKinney. The Equinox, 2.9%, one of the fastest selling SUVs in today's market. It just skyrocketed in sales over the last year. And now, get this. You have Eldorado Chevrolet, and then you have Justin Griffin, one of the best buyers of pre-owned cars in the area. Then you have Eldorado Mazda, my buddy Tommy Melton. And then right next to them, their new commercial fleet operation, from flatbeds to box trucks to everything in between. They've got it now at Eldorado Commercial. And so if you have a business and you're looking to start replacing your vehicles with the big bad boys, they got them. You want to do a special design for your toolboxes on the back of them, they got them. And so whether it's your personal needs or your commercial needs, your business needs, the place, Eldorado Chevrolet, see why they are 9-time Chevy Dealer of the Year. You know, you're getting $8,000 off brand new Chevy Silverados right now, low APRs. They have their great incentives and programs going right now to make sure your car is ready for the winter. You got a cold snap coming next week. Is your car ready? And Eldorado Chevrolet and McKinney will make sure that it is. And I will tell you this, I had 7 people last month that nobody came close to the trade-in value and the price. And everyone came to me, yeah, we heard this commercial that these dealers were the biggest. And Eldorado outdid every one of them. And I met one of them on the showroom floor, and he is now on his 3rd Eldorado Chevrolet. You can be a family member too. Go to EldoradoChevy.com. That's EldoradoChevy.com. What's on your mind, Bo? Anything?
Oh, it's pretty empty right now.
No way your mind's empty.
Yeah. Well, we got a pretty day today, but that's going to change here probably late tonight here in North Texas. We're going to get a little bit of a brisk movement through here over the next 2 or 3 days. So bundle up and buckle up and do all those things. They're calling for maybe a little bit of wintry mix, but I don't know.
But down south, they're going to get it pretty good.
Yeah, saw that.
Houston ought to get some.
Talking
some
about
good
Louisiana
snow.
too.
Yeah. I was shocked how much when we were on vacation that Atlanta got. Holy cow, they got pummeled with snow.
Strange stuff happens sometimes out there with these weathers, but
Yep.
you know, we got it. We usually get one good one a year, and we got that a couple of weeks ago. So it was got about 6-7 inches at my house. So it lasted a few days and then burn off when the sun came out. But be safe out there driving. That's the number one thing, is people have a hard time driving in especially North Texas and probably a lot of the other southern states in this kind of weather, because we don't prepare for it like they do in the northern areas. So
they change out their tires. They put maybe snow chains on. They add more. My good buddy lives up in Chicago. He goes 100% antifreeze instead of the blend.
Right. You almost have to there, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it gets brutally cold there. But also they prepare the roads. You know, they do all that, which they don't. They do a little bit here, but not quite like they do up there. So I get amazed, though, when you have this bad weather and these people are flying on the freeways at 80, 90 miles an hour. I'm going, what are you doing?
They're dumb.
You remember that big accident happened in Fort Worth? What, about
35? Oh, yeah.
3 years ago? It was like a 90-car pileup or something.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just because people are just driving like crazies on the freeway with bad weather. You can't do that. Chill out. Get started early. Watch what you're doing. Pay attention and stay off your dadgum phones.
And you notice in the wintertime, they call everything different. Why does ice on the road have a different name for it? Now they call it black ice.
Yeah, well, they call it black ice because you can't see it.
You couldn't see many years ago. Why did all of a sudden it become black ice?
They had to come up with a name for it. I think because the road, a lot of times the roads are dark, and so
But they were before.
Okay, well, they just had a name for it. What did they call it back then? Just ice?
Yeah.
Ice on the road?
Ice on the road. Now it's black ice.
Well,
on
this
the road.
sounds better. It's more powerful. Black ice than just ice.
Be
on the
careful
road.
of the black ice. I guess that creates more urgency to pay attention.
Like a ghost. Watch out for that ghost named Black Eyes out there. Yeah. I don't know. Well,
There's always somebody throwing a wrench into the recipe, you know?
well, it's just like, it feels like. Feels like what? Well, it's 40 degrees, but it feels like 30. No, it's 40 degrees. It don't feel like 30.
I don't get that either.
It feels like 40.
He said that last night. He said it's going to be down to 20. For some of y'all, it's going to feel like 17. If you ain't got a shirt on.
Yeah, like those people at these football games when they take all their clothes off in the 20 below zero,
I like those guys.
They got to definitely feel a little colder than 20
There
degrees.
were some bad dudes that show up and take their shirt
all
off and have
4
a letter
hours
on
of
their
that.
chest.
Oh, I don't even know how they lived through that.
I like it. Kudos to you guys.
Boy, no doubt.
Yeah, if it feels like it, put a coat on because it's still 20 degrees
Right,
outside.
exactly.
Yeah, everybody, I'm sure everybody's going to be running the grocery store like Armageddon today.
I've already done it. I did it
You really
yesterday.
Armageddoned
I already did it.
You know what? I'm really upset. They built a brand new HEB. You've been in it.
It's outrageous.
Buddy, I
dude.
can't get near that stinking place.
The thing is as big as a football stadium. I mean, it's huge.
You can't get in.
And you can't find a parking spot. It takes you as long to find a parking spot as it does to do the shopping.
For a whole week of their grand opening, it has security directing people.
And I went during the week. Weekends got to be horrible. I wouldn't even think about going on a weekend. I went during the week and still took me 20 minutes to find a spot. And they have it's right there at that corner is a nightmare.
And you like the rosemary bread.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's awesome. But I don't go get any more because
it ain't worth the drive.
Yeah, no, it's the sourdough. Was it rosemary? Rosemary sourdough. Yeah, it's fantastic. But
everybody says you need to go there. I'm like, yeah, I need to get a helicopter.
Exactly, or our police escort.
Yeah, land on the building. Unbelievable.
It's huge though. They got everything you'd ever want and all fresh. It's great. I mean, not knocking what they have. It's just I don't know. It's a hard place to get in and out of.
Yeah.
That corner.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. You got anything on your mind you want to talk about, give us a call or post it here on the live feed, 214-787-1190. Two products over at Chevrolet. They are killing it, and that is the Equinox and the Chevy Trax. The new Chevy Trax. I drove the older model. I didn't mind on the interior, on the outside, but I thought it was pretty ugly. They've redesigned this thing again to make another great-looking, under $25,000 small SUV. I have a bunch of buddies that sent their kiddos off to college with it, and they didn't have to go to college with them. They loaded up enough stuff inside there that they were good to go. Great gas mileage. Look at all the safety ratings on it. You can't beat it. Quick break, 214-787-1190. We'll be right back.
So is that the only music thing you went to on your cruise? Was that the 80s night? Is that it?
No, they had this one guy.
Did they have karaoke? Did y'all do that?
They had karaoke.
Did you do it?
I didn't sing.
Why?
Everybody was asking me to do some Randy Travis.
You could do Randy or Trace Atkins. You could do. You need to learn some Trace Atkins because you got the voice for that.
Yeah, they were asking, I was singing on the way back. We're in Honduras, and I was singing on the bus, and like three people were like, "You need to be singing some country music."
Well, you way to do that, and I've told you before. You got to hone in on a person that you have the similar sound to, or talent, or sound in your voice for, and learn that song. Learn it, memorize the words, memorize the tune, memorize the way it's done over and over and over till you have it down to a T. That's how you learn to sing. That's how I learned.
Huh.
And you just go to the next song and do the same thing. Because all the songs that I sing, they're all memorized. I don't read them off a sheet.
Okay, I'll tell you my favorite song. that I like to sing. I'll just tell you what it is. It's my favorite.
I've memorized all the songs that I sing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm a little rusty on them right now because I haven't sang in a while with them. But when I was singing, when I had our 3-piece band, I was singing half the night. We were probably doing close to 40 songs a night, and so I was singing 20, 25 songs a night, and not same song every night either. But so that's the best way. It makes you more confident. You get it really down and really good, and that's what helps you learn to sing. Is learning those songs like you hear on the record or the CD or whatever they call them nowadays. She wants you to do Randy Travis, Forever and Ever, Amen. That's a great song.
Who's that?
Melinda.
Oh.
That's a great song. I agree. Played that song. I don't sing it, but I've played it a bunch of times. It's beautiful. But Trace Atkins is really you're on your way. I think Trace Atkins may be more your tone than even Randy. Have you heard some of Trace Atkins' music?
I think this might be it. Okay. Now this is.
Maybe lock the door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on the soft
Josh Turner.
slow.
Perfect for you.
Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long.
That's
That's
perfect
me right there.
You need to learn that. You need to learn that song just like he's doing it and memorize it and sing it over and over and over till everybody's blue in the face. Gotta turn the volume. But that's how you learn to sing right there.
I love that song.
That's a great song. That's beautiful. I like that too.
I was singing it to Melinda. I picked her up the other night, and I had Frankie Valli.
Oh yeah,
I Love You, Baby, playing for her, and I sang that to her.
Dorothy said, "Kurt, that's the same voice you have." That's what I'm saying, Dorothy. He takes that voice, takes that song, or anybody that's in that baritone sound, and memorize the song, memorize the words, memorize the notes, and all. Just memorize the song.
You think Clint would let me up there?
There's no doubt about it.
Down.
Oh, he would love it because he's a tenor. One of my all-time favorite songs here.
Oh, yeah.
So a friend of mine that's a drummer, there was a piece on a reel that said, the guy's playing the drums, and it says, the thing that really scares a drummer is the guy coming to church with a tambourine. And the drummer goes, "Code blue, code blue." I thought that was funny.
214-7 more tambourine.
Yeah.
214-787-1190 is the number. This segment brought to you by Grapevine Dodge. Let me tell you, it has been totally remodeled. I'm going to tell you what, Brandon built one of the most beautiful dealerships for you to shop for your Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. Right there, 121 and William D. Tate. The new showroom's open. Stop in there and see my buddy Shane Peck and enjoy the massive discounts, because here's the benefits to you, the consumer. When Brandon decided to gut this dealership and completely remodel it and put the new Dodge fascia on the building, he got a big allocation of vehicles. And what does that mean? They're coming in quick. He's getting his new allocations, and they've got to be gone quick, so they're not paying floor plan interest on it. It's not interest in what you think. When that car hits the ground, you got so much time to get rid of it, and then that car starts getting added to with taxes. This is a great time to make your deal. If you go to Grapevine Dodge, take a look at their website. It'll show you all the great discounts and great APRs, and they just keep getting bigger each month. The more the cars come in, the better the discounts. And they're going on right now with the new grand opening of their showroom floor, 121 and William D. Tate. See my buddy Shane. And they still have about a dozen of the Challengers left before they're completely gone at Grapevine Dodge. Go to grapevinedodge.com. That's grapevinedodge.com. All right.
We're gonna make you a singer, the singing automotive guru.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a whole segment one day where you're just singing everything about you sing the sponsor, sing it, instead of
Wow.
reading it, you sing it, like rappers.
The singing salesman.
How about that? Now, how many people you think would want to go see a person like that to buy a car from?
Oh no.
I think a lot.
Well,
do it.
You want to coach me, Coach?
Yeah.
Put me in, Coach.
I've already led you in the right direction, so I'll be more than happy to help you.
I like that song. I like singing.
That is a great song. All you got to do is learn it, because I think you could do it.
We're gonna learn it.
And then I'll listen to you, and then I'll critique and tell you where you need to work.
Oh, you go.
How about that?
You will.
I will do it.
I got it. Hey, here's some really great information for the consumers.
Exactly.
If you're not paying attention on the roads now, you will. Believe me, you will. The old really intelligent people at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, these are some brilliant minds.
Oh boy.
Proposed a new process to streamline reviews of exemptions. Work with me now. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration on December 20th proposed a new process to streamline of exemptions filed by automakers wanting to deploy self-driving vehicles without human control, like steering wheels or brake pedals. How do you like me now? The NHTSA has authority to grant petitions to allow up to 2,500 vehicles per manufacturer to operate on the U.S. roads without required human controls.
You're talking about, well, it's one thing not to have a human person doing it, but they don't want steering wheels even in them?
Or brakes. Now, it'll have a braking system, but no brake pedals.
You're not operating.
You're not operating.
Period.
No one is. You're getting into a bucket of bones, and how about that?
Oh, beautiful.
Here's the funny part. It says automakers have expressed frustration with the agency's slow review of autonomous vehicle. It needs to be slower.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be faster. It needs to be slower. Because here's the problem you're going to have. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, folks. In case of an accident, can you imagine how long you're going to be tied up in court when you have companies that are worth, hundreds of billions of dollars going, wait a minute, it wasn't us, it was a software company. No, it wasn't the software company, it was the code writer. No, it wasn't the code writer, it was the supplier. And here you are sitting there with a neck brace on or a crash bucket of bolts, wondering how this is going to be taken care of. I don't understand. Please, somebody help me. Call in or type in why you think that we should have self-driving vehicles on the road. What is the benefit? Tell me one benefit. One, okay, I'm sure you can tell me one that makes sense. How about that? That's going to be the caveat to the whole thing. What makes sense about having driverless people in cars on the road?
Art Naismith says, I'm stick with my 67 Volkswagen with the steering wheel and brake pedal. I'll stick with it. That's what he's saying.
Wow.
I'll stick with it. Well, I think we all should, don't you think? Me too.
Yeah, it says the industry faces scrutiny after a pedestrian was seriously injured in October by a cruise vehicle. The NHTSA has opened a number of investigations into self-driving vehicles, including Cruise, Alphabet's Waymo, and Amazon Zoox. The Alliance for the Automotive Innovation, representing GM, Toyota, Volkswagen, Hyundai, and other major manufacturers, said the proposal will provide a pathway to significantly expand the number of commercial of AVs operating in the U.S. We urgently need regulatory framework for the AVs in the U.S. we don't cede leadership to China and other countries. I'm going, wait a minute here. What are you people asking for? Why would you want to get in a vehicle with no steering wheel, no brakes, hoping and praying to our Lord and Savior that car is going to stop and go where it needs to go without flaw? And think about this. If people can hack into the Pentagon
or the car situation, when they got into all the dealerships,
I don't get it. I don't get what a mindset is where Bo and I are sitting around in a room and you go, hey, Bo, I got a brilliant idea. Why don't we build cars where we don't need drivers? I mean, what is the mindset? What is the benefit? Not one person, even when I've written all these companies that are really big on, they have not even responded to me. What is the benefit other than saying, okay, you're a really cool dude because you built a vehicle that nobody needs to be in?
Well, I think some people think that, and my son's one of them, says that he believes that driver error from humans would cause more accidents than a self-driving vehicle. Well, first of all, that hadn't been proven yet.
Right.
So it's a good thought on his part, because I do know that we do have a lot of problems with people being distracted because of their cell phones and things like that. But that should be corrected, not that we move to an era where nobody controls it except the vehicle. And I don't understand how that works anyway. I mean, how do they know what to drive on the freeway and which lane to be in and do all that? My head just doesn't wrap around all the decisions that a vehicle has to make or to get to where you got to go.
Well, your head's going to wrap around a telephone pole
That's
before
what
they
I'm
realize,
thinking.
wait a minute here. We can't cover every little detail of things that could possibly happen. I don't get it. I don't understand the mindset where you're putting billions of dollars into things that we'll go with 98% of America will not want to own. You know, how many people, let me just see a show of hands, would just go out to a car with no driver and you look inside and there's nothing there. There's no steering wheel. There's no brakes, and get in the back seat with your newspaper, if you get a newspaper anymore, or turn on your cell phone and be 100% comfortable that car is going to get you from point A to point B.
If it wasn't very far, like if I was just going maybe a handful of miles, maybe. But if
do that,
I'm not going to go from here to the airport that way, but like from here to the Keller Town Center, maybe. But I'm not going to do it any further than that.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
There's a cow on the road. No, there's a cow. There's no one to tell.
The cow ain't there anymore, neither we.
Yeah. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
So Ty Gentman says, yeah, so I prefer to drive for sure, but seeing how bad some people drive, it's scary. Yeah, that's what my son was talking about, that all the problems that these people with their cell phones, they cause a lot of problems, but still, I don't know. I'd almost still rather somebody drive me that's talk on their cell phone than I would a self-driving vehicle. And that's pretty scary. So, then Charles Davis says, well, how about this? They are letting a company have driverless 18-wheelers try it out back east somewhere with Tesla now, and that's very scary. Do you know about that, Kurt? That there's a company out east that's got a company doing driverless 18-wheelers. Oh, yeah. That scares me more than being in one that's driverless. To be out there with something like that on the road that doesn't have a driver and I'm passing it, I don't know. We live in some really crazy times, that's for sure. But we do appreciate your comments on that, because I just think, I don't know. it's beyond belief in a lot of this stuff to me that we would be doing such stuff. I do like some of the lane assist, those kind of things like that, where, you might just reach down to, grab a Coke or something to drink in, or just take your eyes off the road for a second. And that lane assist helps you kind of get back jarred in position. Backup cameras, backup notifications, like on, my wife's car's got the beep, beep, beep if something's coming close. Those are all great additives to a position of safety. But having it to where nobody's in the car with no steering wheel and no brake pedal, that's kind of pushing the envelope. I'll tell you that, sure. Michael Pace says, how much different will it be than people staring at their phone while they're driving?
Great
probably
point.
Not much difference. You're probably right.
Great point. None. No doubt about it. Distracted driving.
Yep.
I just, there was a company out in California that they built. They convinced this trucking company. I was reading about it, but he sent me the article, and he put all these trucks out there. And when he started charging his fleet, it was draining the city's power. So now this guy's got all these trucks, and there's not a whole lot he can do with it. I'm going, well, that's a problem. It's, I don't understand why we want driverless. You want more people out. You want them out of their homes. You want them interacting. You want them doing.
Why don't we get more serious about finding people that we need to do something about the cell phones, that there cannot be even workable if you're not in a total hands-free environment.
100%.
That right there would solve a lot of problems. I mean, things that are going to just driverless people and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, let's get harder on that end and make it more difficult so that people can be more in tune to their driving than their phone. And if you had vehicles to where they don't even start if your phone is on or not in a hands-free environment.
Yeah, once you get in the car, if you don't have hands free, it's inoperable.
Correct.
100%.
It's the same kind of position if people like that have got problems, that's had DWIs. They can't start their vehicle till they blow into that machine.
Yep.
So
what did we do when we were younger? Heck, we pulled over and put a quarter in the payphone.
Right.
You pulled over.
Yeah.
That was the whole deal. You pulled over, but everybody's in such a need for speed and hurry and fast enough.
They're trying to text and drive at the same time.
Yeah. I don't get it.
And it's crazy. But it is what it is nowadays. But that's where I think where the attention needs to be, is towards that instead of the other way. Dorothy said driverless cars, bad idea, the worst idea.
We need to speed this song up, man. The entrance of this song is great.
Well, this will take out the whole set.
I know we say this every time. We never do it.
Oh, right it up to where it gets to the music part. People on our social media sites can't even hear it.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Grapevine Ford, the true home of the love it or leave it promise. You don't absolutely love your vehicle when you get it home. Bring it back. Let them put you in the one that you do love. You got Cameron and Cameron on the desk over there taking care of the Ford business right there between Texan Trail and Main Street on Highway 114. And it doesn't get any easier. Chaz Gilmore, who's the managing partner of the dealership, has the right crew with the right product taking care of your Ford need. Best-selling vehicle in the world, 48 years running, the Ford F-150. And I had a couple of people call me about the new Raptor Ranger. Get in line, order it. You may or may not get it. They're not building a whole bunch of them. But one great product that they do have in stock and they're doing really well with, and that's the Ford Maverick. That truck is crushing it. And that's why you're seeing all these other smaller trucks come into fruition and jump in the market, because Maverick is doing so well. You know, then it comes down to people. When they put a guarantee like that on their vehicle going, hey, you get it home, it didn't fit in the garage like you thought, or you did a mock setup for travel and you couldn't get everything in, you can bring it back and upgrade, or maybe you bought one too big, you need to downgrade, whatever the case may be, they're going to take care of you. No questions asked. Start on today at grapevine.com. That's grapevine.com. So, yeah, I was really blown away by, you know, how many vehicles they want to put on the road operating.
They were talking about 2,500 per manufacturer.
Yep. And here's the thing, to Charlie's point, that stretch of Highway 10, there has been autonomous vehicles on that road, but they've had a driver there to back up in case something happened with the system. And I don't know what is the weight of the cargo, Charlie? Like 20, well, I heard it's like 30,000 pounds you can haul behind a truck. I mean, that's a missile. If somebody was to come in and hack into the system and take over that truck, man, you have a rolling missile.
You wipe out just half
that pickup truck.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Not my gig. I think that people need to be held accountable. You know, you and I have talked to several judges about it, and I couldn't imagine going in front of Judge Gregory or Curbo or any of these guys and go, hey, look, the car didn't do what it's supposed to do.
Well, that brings up a whole nother question about the no steering wheel, no brakes pedals, and you're in the back seat, and let's say you own the car, you're going to be liable for that.
That's right. 100%.
And the person that, if you're doing, like if it's an Uber or something like that, and you ride with that company or the person that owns that vehicle is going to be liable for any problems that happens to anybody that gets hurt or any other vehicles.
100%.
And we know that point blank from the judges. So I don't get why you would want to trust something like that. I mean, anything electronically, like computers or anything like that, they get a whack in them. They get hacked. Your bank accounts get hacked. So to think that a vehicle could not be hacked, you are living in another world.
You know, I get the cool factor, but you know, like the one guy, he built a Flintstone mobile and put a motor in it. You know, it's pretty cool. That's a cool factor. The Batmobile, cool factor.
Right.
Smoking the Bandit, cool factor. But driverless cars, there's nothing cool about it. I like what Art said. BMW plans to do away with the turn signal switch since none of their drivers used it anyway. And then Mike chimes in and says insurance companies are going to love it because they will be billing to
accommodate the losses.
Yeah, and they're going to be billing us.
Yeah.
You're right 100% on that one, Mike. Big home run for Mike Pace, because that's exactly the next point I was getting to, is when these cars start wrecking and crashing, that money's coming back on us.
Yep.
It's going to come back to us.
And that's not very affordable right now. So can you imagine what it would be like when those things start rocking?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
214-787-1190. If you'd like to discuss any of this, we'd love to have you on there and join us. 214-787-1190. Let's get to some Q&A. It says, for 2020, you to say, for 2025, Kurt, what source is the best to get the best possible deal? Is it Costco, Sam's, credit union members? What is it? Well, it all depends on the product. If you're buying an everyday product, because there's plenty of inventory, these companies are not going to get you any better deal than you walking in and putting your deal together. If you walk in, you say, hey, I'm with Costco or Sam's, I'm with EECU, American Airlines Credit Union, whatever the case may be. Some of them have it to where the deal is structured a certain way. It's all based on supply and demand, how many vehicles are available. It's not one size fits all, and you're going to get the big discounts and everything on that. Plus, they have selective dealers that may not be in your PMA. So the best way to get the best possible deal, go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, and let me step in and get with the dealer before you even get there, before you even get to the dealership. And last month, we did over 100 of them that way. I have never been so busy and humbled as I was in the month of December, But the big
30
thing
seconds.
isn't always so much on the selling price. Are you getting all the money on your trade? It's a dual purchase. Are you getting the most for your trade? Are you getting the lowest price on theirs to save you the tax, to save you money? There's more to it than just going to one place going, I need the best price on a car. How do you get the best of both worlds? 214-787-79. Break, go away. We'll be right back.
Yes. theautomotiveedge.com. And you have to put the in there. www.theautomotiveedge.com.
Yeah, y'all need to start subscribing to the YouTube page, the Automotive Edge Radio Show. The more subscriber, the more money we get for our adopted teacher program. Guys and gals, need your help with that.
Yeah, even though you may watch us here, you can still watch us on YouTube if you want to as well. But to subscribe and help with that helps the show get a lot more attention and rise into the YouTube area, and also it helps our teachers. So even though you watch us mainly on YouTube, on Facebook, subscribe to that and help us out.
Yep. The more you do, and here's the thing, you don't have to make a donation, just subscribe.
Yeah.
And then we get the money. So it's all about exposure. Everybody's looking for exposure. That's why they spend the money. You subscribe, we get money for teachers.
Oh, look who finally joined in. Wow, man. Well, you been sleeping late or what?
Getting his beauty sleep.
Ronnie Swain.
You know,
I have been sleeping, getting my beauty sleep this morning.
and you know who Ronnie Swain is.
Sure, I know who Ronnie Swain is. Your new best friend.
That's right.
I guess that's why Gary doesn't do that anymore. Figured he's
Thank
lost.
you, Charlie Davis. You need to call Michael and tell him to subscribe.
Yeah, if y'all tuned in to us, you're tuned in.
Get my Nimitz family all signed up, and we get more money for the teachers.
Yeah. Go to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. The Automotive Edge Radio Show. It'll take you there, and subscribe, and that'll help us out to help our teachers. So please do that. We thank you for that. And great to see you, Ronnie. Thank you, Charlie, for doing that. Appreciate that a bunch. It's easy peasy.
Yepper. Teachers need some love.
Yes, they do.
There's so many teachers bailed out of being teachers, and
yeah,
the ones that are left, we need to help them out and keep them. Find a way to keep them. Yes, we do. I used to have some great teachers. Did you have good teachers?
I had a couple real good looking ones one time.
I did too.
Well, I had this. Well, I think she taught history because I don't even remember. I just loved going to the class staring at her.
Yeah, I had Miss
Young
Miss
and
Taylor.
hot.
She was our typing teacher. Miss Taylor was. She could have been Miss America.
This one was hot. She kind of wore short skirts. Boy, don't even remember what she taught.
Yeah, I told Miss Taylor, I said, how come I can only take typing 1 year?
You should have flunked so you come back and take it
I could have
again.
failed to come back. Kurt. I did. I think one day I told her I was in love with her.
Ryan says he's a long-time subscriber. We appreciate that, Ryan.
Yeah. Get everybody. All my name is buddy and friends from school. You need to be signed up for teachers.
Yeah, that's something we need to really push out there. That for our radio folk to do that too. That listen to us on the radio, maybe not do any of the social media.
Yep.
Following. Try to get them to go do that. At least to go and subscribe. Allow us.
Lots of love.
Yes. We need love.
We do.
We need a lot of love. Charlie says Mrs. Taylor was a good looking teacher for sure.
Yeah, her and Mrs. Wall, the history teacher. I was in love with both of them.
I think most of my teachers were pretty good. I don't remember anybody that I can think of that I could say was just horrible. But that's been 100 years ago. It's a lot different nowadays. You know what they were able to teach curriculum. Nowadays they're teaching all this social crap and they tie these teachers' hands up what they can and can't
And
teach.
you didn't act out like they do now.
And you didn't have any of that. None, we didn't have, dude, I can tell you right now, if you acted up in class, they may never see you again. I mean, you got taken care of. And you might, we had the old, the rod belt. I remember getting a couple, 2 or 3 lectures in gum in class. Just chewing gum in class. I never chewed again. I guarantee you, I never even brought that crap to school again. Mm-hmm. So, that's what's happened. It's been an accumulation of a lot of things that's caused the whole teaching structure to almost collapse.
Look at Charlie. Miss Rowan cooking class is pretty good too.
Cooking up some trouble there, huh? There you go.
I remember when I officially turned 18 and went to a nightclub. I'm out on the dance floor and I bump into my home ec teacher.
Yeah.
Miss East. She freaked out. So she was over sitting with her friends. Come on, let's dance. And she goes, Kurt, you're one of my students. No, I graduated. Come on,
I'm out. Come on, baby, let's hit it. There you go.
I had a lot of cool teachers that, you could shoot the breeze with.
Sure.
Mr. Villarreal was cool. Mrs. Butts was cool.
But it was the same with you. It was a different time to where they could really be teachers and they had discipline in these classes. Those two things right there are not, that's what's really.
Can you imagine missing. The hallways now, all the kids with their heads down on their cell phones going to class?
And having cops and having to have all this crap that you got now.
.com Flight 101. Please extinguish all cigarettes and cigars. Place your seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelt. Please do not try to exit through the exit door.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Highly Accurate, where your time is highly appreciated. Stop in to see my buddy David Gomez and enjoy sport luxury at its best. For me, I put those cars in both categories. You get a great sport feel, you get all the luxury features and everything in between, great lease programs, purchase programs, certified pre-owned, all at one location right there at 820 and 35 in Fort Worth. For all their specials this month, go to highlyaccuratefort.com. That's highlyaccuratefort.com. Ask for David Gomez. He is the managing partner there. Let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show and just experience it. If you're one of these electrification people and they're all kind of getting cookie cutter on the front ends, the new ZDX is completely different from almost every electric vehicle out there. The place, highlyaccuratefort.com. I got a really interesting email the other day. Before we signed off at the end of 2024, I had made a comment to parents going, for 2025, why don't you teach your kids about their car? Teach them how to change a tire.
Check the oil. All these different things. It's simple to do.
Yeah. Show them. If not, go to the dealership where you bought it and get a mechanic to come out and show you where to put the jack. They'll do it. They'll actually show you where to place a jack. Take 5 minutes. Well, things didn't go so well at one of the home fronts. He had both the kids out there, and he went a little old school. I was kind of proud of him.
Just sitting there watching them?
No, he said, I want y'all to learn. I'm going to show you. And they were like, well, Dad, we know how you are. They just didn't want Dad to teach them.
Right.
Okay. You have to go and figure out how. I'm going to give you exactly 1 week to learn how to change a tire and the fluids, or I'm taking the car away.
Ooh. That is old school, man. Hardcore there.
Yep. He said him and his wife have not been getting along real well.
Since then?
Since then.
Was she part of the one that's supposed to learn how to do it too?
Well, no, he just...
just the kids.
Just the kids.
All right.
He said, y'all will not be driving them cars if you learn how to do it.
So she got mad because she's helping them something that's going to...
Well, what do you think Mom's having to do now?
Help change their tires?
No, haul them around.
Oh, they didn't learn?
No.
Oh, boy.
Like, well,
that's their
there
problem.
you go. I learned how to change a tire quick.
Yeah, of course.
Me and my buddies, man, we had a flat tire. Oh, man, it was done quick.
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody popped off the hubcaps. You were taking off the lug nuts. The other one went and got the spare tire. I mean, it was like a slow-moving indie team, but we got it done down the road.
I've changed a lot of tires in my day. It's, the bad part is when you're on maybe a busy highway or something to do it. But other than that, the actual process is not that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a problem, like a lot of people say, man, I can't get this lug nut off. Well, if you get one of those T-type nut removers, then you can stand on it on one of them and it'll pop it loose. There's also another way too, but you have to have another jack, is you take on the right side of it, use a jack and it'll take it off. You ever seen that?
Yeah, but the key is to loosen the lug nuts before you lift
Correct. That's what you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, don't lift it and then try to take the lug nuts off and then jump on the deal. You'll pop the jack and
you'll never get that done.
But he texted me yesterday and he said the battle is over.
They learned. Yeah, Mama's happy too now. Huh?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Good for you. There's sometimes you put your foot down and you know what? There'll be a time, hopefully not, but maybe, where they have to do something.
Well, it's like what the Boy Scouts teach: be prepared. You never know when something's going to happen. I'm a what am I call it? I don't even know what I'm calling now, but a license to carry, and they teach you to be prepared. And I hope I never have to be that prepared. But when I am, I will be. And so that's the same thing with anything like that, changing the tire, checking your oil, staying on top of that, your radiator, make sure you got fluid in there all the time. It's up and down in these temperatures, especially in North Texas. And if you don't take care of that sucker's going to go.
Yeah, well, he was telling them, they held up a bottle of oil and they had to point where they put the oil, and they were just so mad. He goes, here's the thing. I'm not always going to be here.
Yeah.
But why would you not want to know versus pulling in someplace, spend a couple $100 for something you can do?
Correct. Exactly.
And they were just so frustrated because, they had to get off their cell phone. They had to learn. And he showed them, hey, when you check your tire, take a hammer and just hit it on the rubber on the spare. Don't push on it because that's not going to tell you a whole lot. And pound on that thing. See if there's air in the spare. Always have that check when you pull up to a place where they're doing an air check. Hey, could you check my spare?
Or buy a portable one.
And they resented it.
Buy a portable one. They're cheap. You can put them in the trunk. And then when you need to air that spare up when you need it, because I have a spare in Purple Haze's vehicle that is not the actual from the manufacturer. So it's a little bit bigger than the hole. Mm-hmm. So I let the air out of a little bit to get it where you can get it out and in. But when you get it out, we have the pressure,
the compressor
to fill it up. And Purple Haze had a flat here a couple of weeks ago, and we have AAA, so we called AAA out. We had the spare, but with no jack or the bolt remover. And she was embarrassed because the person that came out was a female. Did change their tires. She said, Bo, I'm not having that again. So I went and bought a jack and everything to actually change the tire self, or me change it. And it's the right thing to do, to have that.
To know what to do with it, though, when you have it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
You look at that one commercial where the kid pulls this thing out and he goes, yeah, I think this is it. And his dad's trying to describe over the phone. It's got nothing to do with the jack.
No.
Is prepare your kids for, when my son left for college, I had one of those old milk crates in the back, and it had a thing of Fix-A-Flat and a gallon of water, and it had the emergency lights, and it had jumper cables in it, and it had all the basic stuff, to get him down the road, a thing of de-icer. You just never know.
Nowadays, they've got things even more portable than even those days. Like now, like in Purple Haze's car, we've got that. It's a little bitty box, and you put the red on red and black on black, and you turn that sucker on, and it charges that battery up.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have somebody next to you to hook up to their battery. It'll do it right there. You've got control of that. You got control of the air on your tire with those pressure tire pressure regulate. What do you call them?
The monitors.
No, well, where you fill the air up.
The compressor.
They're portable little compressors, and they're not that much money.
Yep.
So you can have all that in your trunk and save yourself a lot of headache. A lot of headache. And I'll tell you, when I used to work for Judge Judy and I'd go around to all the courts, there were plenty of times I'd come out and I'd look at a tire and it was pretty flat from being in it, because I'd go in for a while in a courtroom. And I had one of those and I'd air it up to get me to the next place where I could change it or have it fixed. And those kind of things can save you a lot of problems.
Yep, they can. Yeah, so good for you, Dad. So what? You know, they got upset. They learned a good lesson. And down the road, if something happens, they'll have that epiphany that, hey, Dad showed us what we need to do for our car.
Yeah, and they would certainly appreciate it when that time comes. It saved them a lot of problems.
Yep. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Hey, Kurt, what are the fastest depreciation vehicles on the road? The ones you didn't pay the right amount for. Because here's the deal. No one really bills a bad vehicle. You do have a lot of low residuals. Here's the thing. Pickup trucks don't have that greater residual, but they have great resale. It's the only vehicle in the marketplace that has an okay residual, but great resale value based on miles and condition, obviously. But what you pay for it determines your depreciation along with the miles and the condition. You know, years ago, you could say, okay, well, Yugo and Geo and Isuzu and Saab, and you go down a whole list of vehicles. Most of the bad stuff is gone for the most part. It's gone. You know, everybody was talking about, the worst resale product right now is Mitsubishi. Well, what are you paying for the Mitsubishi? That's what it comes down to. How much did you finance? Did you, a lot of people, you finance your TT&L and no down payment, and then you go to trade it in and you got all this negative equity. So you have the profit that's built into the vehicle car deal, plus your tax, title, and license, your interest. You didn't put any money down, and all that's negative equity. It's negative equity. And that's where people get into trouble. And that's why I say when you're buying a new car, put down as much as you can when you're financing. That's the best rule of thumb, because every car depreciates differently based on the residuals from the manufacturer. Miles, condition, and how you paid for the vehicle. So there's a lot of people that, going through the COVID, that paid incredible premiums to have vehicles, incredible premiums. And a lot of these people are contacting me now, and there's no way out. There's no, unless they have a lot of money down, or they pay on another 2 years and they're within a year, maybe two of the end of the note, and they're not driving a lot and they're maintaining the car, that they'll be able to trade out of it. So it all comes down to, the old rule of thumb, like Grandpa and Dad and everybody always told you, right when you drive off the lot, it depreciates 35%. I don't know what kind of cars they were buying then. They're not 35% markup in a car.
Well, this is what I think. That's a wives' tale that they heard that from their grandfather, and then that one heard from that grandfather, and just kept on passing down to where that's just what they heard.
Yep,
not what really happened.
Yeah, so buy the car the right way. Always go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number, and let's go over the numbers. And here's the thing: it's not always the selling price of the car; it's what you didn't get for your trade-in. And this last month, I bet we saved the listeners over $100,000 across the board in resale value of their trade. Guarantee you we did. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're a rich girl.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that people really need to take a look at, is what they have in their trunk of their vehicles for safety. And I even think now, when you have situations where in the winter, I think people need to keep blankets and extra clothing or something like that if they broke down on the side of the road, or they got in a bad traffic jam on the freeway and it's 20 degrees. You need to stay bundled up because you ain't gonna run your car for 4 or 5, 6 hours and make it. You know, you might if you got a full tank, but there's been a lot of circumstances that's happened like that across the country where people have been stranded in their vehicles for long periods of time, and you need to have all those safety measures for you when that happens. And
you know, I never let my car get under a quarter tank of gas. I never have.
Well, that's good because I usually don't get mine over a quarter tank. Marianne gets mad at me. She goes, "Why don't you do more?" I said, "Well, you know, what happens if I fill it up and all of a sudden the car breaks down and I don't have it for a month? And I've got to put all that money in a full tank of gas."
That is definitely a big wheel thought.
That's
right
a Bo
there.
moment right there.
Wow.
Try to balance it out like, okay, well, you know, if it breaks down, it's only got a quarter tank. It's not full, especially in that expedition. That's a big money difference.
Boy, it's a big old tank on that
Boy,
thing.
man. It can shoot up pretty
It costs
high.
about $100 to fill it.
It gets, well, you know, it depends on the pricing of the gas, of course. But yeah, I've seen close to that for sure many times. I can't. The problem is that when I've done that, I'm going like, "What are you going to stop? Please stop!" It just keeps going. You know, the 50, the 60, the 70. You go like, "This got to be stopping
You got
sometimes."
smoke coming off them numbers.
Oh, well, and then, you know, you get about 10, 12 miles a gallon on top of that. But it's great for what I use it for around town, running short errands and stuff like that. Although Barbara Ann drove it to Nacogdoches at Christmas and back 4 hours one
Nice.
way. I'm like, we don't need to be doing that anymore.
Is that where you went and stayed up the tree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a couple Thanksgivings ago. That was a great place. It was a lot of fun. We need to do that again. It's really cool.
Was there a kitchen or anything up in there?
Oh, it was a regular house, but it had everything, all the amenities.
A true tree house.
Yeah, it had all the amenities. You know,
in a tree.
In a tree.
Only Bo Carver. You heard it here first.
There
folks.
it is. I think Justin Crane might be watching. I don't know. I got a little notification here that says he is. And if he is, hello, Justin Crane, the man.
Well, you know, I had barbecue with Justin the other day, and my wife brought home barbecue for dinner.
Well,
I got double BBQ.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'll tell you what, he is he's a Mac Daddy. You see him on the showroom floor, he knows every salesperson and what they're doing and where the customer is and what's going on.
And he's a big believer. Good morning, he says. Good morning to you. You know, he's a big believer in self-driving vehicles.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
He's one of them.
You know what's amazing is Justin being the managing partner there at Burleson Nissan, how much he knows about the product.
Oh,
I was blown away. When we're out there looking at that Armada together, he's talking to me about the different packages and options and what's coming in. I'm like, man, he is game on.
But he knows a lot about the industry, too.
My son thinks he's got the coolest hairdo in the world.
I think so, too. I'm not going to argue with
You know what
that.
he says? Hey, Dad, have you ever seen his hairdo? And I went, yeah, a couple times. Yeah, he's good people. And when you're on a ship and the cruise director knows who you are, I mean, goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
How well connected are you there?
Yeah. Yeah. Justin knows too many people. Great person.
Stick around. 214-787-1190. Well, we got him on with us. Let's talk about him. Justin Crane, managing partner, Burleson Nissan. Now, you heard me talking earlier about the Armada. I'm telling you, it's a must-see, must-drive. For you parents that like the big Suburbans and the Tahoes and the Cadillac Escalades and on and on and on, I saw this vehicle and was blown away by the design, the refine, the interior blew me away on what Nissan is doing with their product line. So you got 5 vehicles under 30,000, 3 vehicles under 25,000, less than what the used car market average is bearing on pre-owned automobiles. all at one place, Burleson Nissan, 35 in Renfro Road. But make the appointment to test drive that new Armada. I'm telling you, I can't wait to get in at this one. It just hit the ground, and it hadn't made it through PDI yet. But I will be going out just as soon as I can, if it's available, because everything that's hitting the ground is selling pretty quickly. But it is the one of the nicest people movers that's been put out in a very, very long time. So put Nissan on your test driving list. Let's just say that you're at the beginning stages. Go down there and see Justin Crane and his group there at Burleson Nissan, 35 in Renfro Road.
Row.
And let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show. And enjoy the experience. My daughter is driving a new Nissan. My son's girlfriend is driving a new Nissan. My other son's looking at a new Nissan. And there may be one on the property for you. The new Nissan Kicks, I'm telling you, if they took the badging off of it, you would not know that's a Nissan Kicks. And their top-selling SUV, one of them top in the marketplace, the Nissan Rogue, all at one place. Burleson Nissan, 35 in Renfro Road. Go to burlesonnissan.com. And Justin's got cool hair, per my son.
He dresses cool too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's got it all together down there, and he lives down there, so he's part of the the neighborhood and the scenery of Burleson. So he's not like out and comes in; he's there among the people that he services. And that's really important, I think.
I dig it. Hey, Kurt. If you lose your title, are you still able to trade in the car? No doubt about it. If you get the dealership, you give them the car, they're going to run a Twix on it and verify, check the liens, everything else, and they can file for a quick title on your behalf. So don't let that hold you up. I got a bunch of calls in December where people can't find their titles, and the dealer can work with you on that. I had a lot of people that there was, unfortunately, a death in the family, and what do you do? And the dealership there will tell you what paperwork you need in order to complete the transaction and trade in the vehicle. Unfortunately, I had a bunch of people call and say, mom or dad or whoever, now I have a vehicle, it's in their name, but I have the power of attorney, I'm the executor of the will, this, that, or the other, what do I do? And when you get to the dealership, get all that knocked out, because there's nothing that, you buy a vehicle, or you go to buy a vehicle, and then you have the trade-in, everything gets delayed. You could call out there to Burleson Nissan and say, hey, let me talk to your finance manager. I'm interested in the new Armada. I have a trade-in. Unfortunately, my spouse passed away. It's in their name. What all do I need to bring to you to be able to trade this vehicle and make the transaction smooth and seamless? And you'll get all the details. So, and it's, I hate to use the word common, but they just know how to handle it. And you'll be able to take care of that. Let's see. What are the score levels when buying a car to determine the interest rate? That's a great question, because I've had people that have come in to the dealership when I was running dealerships and say, I have a 650 Beacon score. How bad is that? And I would just tell you this, and I don't mean to sound generic, but every credit app is different. When we had all the layoffs due to the virus, well, if you go back to 2009 all the way till almost 2012, when we had the big financial crisis, and then you turn around and you had this coronavirus, the banks look at all that. They have an immediate score. You send it over and they go, this is whatever the rate's going to be. Some banks or some dealers are going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4. I know there's one manufacturer out there that has 8 different levels, but you have an auto score, and then the dealer, he'll take a look at it and go, hang on just a second here. You've been on your job for a long time. You've been on your residency for a long time. We have a car deal here, even though you have a score of 605. I mean, I've gotten 580s and 590s bought at a good rate because of the story of why it's a 580 or 590. And just remember, whatever information that you give the dealer, you got to be able to back it up. I went through a divorce. This is what happened, or there was a death in the family. This is what happened, or the virus hit and I was laid off, but I still made my mortgage. I still made my car payment. I kept the lights on and food in the refrigerator. and I'm back on that job now. My income's the same, and they can see by the history that you're making headway on it. Banks like those car deals. So before you walk into a dealership and just say, throw yourself at the mercy of a salesperson, I can't tell you enough. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number. Let me give you a phone call and discuss what's going on. Because low credit scores does not mean 17.99 on the interest rate automatically. It doesn't. But if you put yourself in that position, you're going to get it. But by knowing going in, and you're able to go in there chest out to go, hang on a second here. I've been on my job for 20 years. I got laid off for 8 months. I'm back on the job. I've been in my residency for the same amount of time. That's good stability to the bank. They like the way that looks because they know bad things happen to good people. And they're going to work with you on that. So don't just walk in and lay yourself at the mercy and say, well, because my beacon score is 650, I fall into this category. That's just not the way it works. It may be what you're being told, but it's not the way it works.
Well, first of all, you shouldn't go in and tell anybody what your score is anyway. That's what you always say, correct?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Don't go and say, hey, I got this or that or the other, because just find out what a deal you can get at their best interest rate and go from there.
Well, the dealer's job is to get you down the road in a car.
Right, correct.
And then what we want to do is put you with the right dealer that's going to work the hardest to get you the best rate to get you down the road in a car. Let's see, how much is too much when getting your car ready to sell or trade when spending money? Boy, have we covered this a million times.
Mm-hmm.
Clean your car, give it a good bath, and vacuum it out and go trade it in. Period. Remember, if your car is worth $18,000 and you just put new tires on it and new windshield, and the new tires and windshield cost you $1,500, it does not make your car worth $19,500.
$18,000, if that's what it's worth, is when it's based on that condition. Good tires, no cracks in windows, or this, that, and the other. So if you're thinking that if it's $18,000, but if I go put the tires on myself, change the windshield, or do all the different things that you think you're going to do to get $19.50 or $20, that ain't going to happen.
Yep.
So
save your money. The dealer can do it cheaper. Bottom line, they can put tires on cheaper, fix a windshield cheaper, recondition the whole interior cheaper, and get it out for sale.
Yeah, sure. You're not going to get 18 if you need new tires or new windshield, but you're going to be paying less in the big scope of things by letting the dealer do that instead of you.
Yep. Good bath, good vacuum, and sell your car to the dealer. Real simple. If they're selling you their car, why would you not want to sell them your car? Hey, I have this 2016 Honda Accord. It's got 118,000 miles on it. It's never been in a wreck. I've done all the maintenance, all the books and records. I've got everything on it. Every 5,000 miles, I changed the oil. I rotated the top. Whatever the case may be, you were selling them a car, because what a used car manager does when you're appraising a car is he's looking at all the deducts for reconditioning costs on the back end.
1 minute.
How much is it going to cost to recondition it where they can put their name on the back of that car and sell it with a peace of mind knowing it's a good car? That's why you want to sell your car to the used car manager. If you got any questions, you're face-to-face versus a salesperson coming back with a number and I saw it online for $10,000 more. Well, that's a whole different subject.
And you always say that's the first thing you need to do if you're interested in getting a new car and you got a trade is go get that appraised first before you even know what to do with a new car.
That's right.
Find out. Go over there and get what they're going to be willing to pay you for that car. Then go look for the new car.
Yep. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Have a good weekend, Charlie.
Yes, sir. Be safe out there, man. It's a good song here.
Gonna put the world away for a minute. Pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my.
That's a cool song.
I don't know who that was.
I can't. Maddie, who's that?
Maddie.
Can't remember who that is.
Maddie.
She's busy.
Shouldn't like us.
Don't disturb excellence.
So you got big plans this weekend other than staying warm?
That's number one. Gonna hunker down tonight and all day tomorrow. Hunker down, stay warm.
You can do winter food?
Barbie Ann's off the next couple of days, so she's gonna do all the feel good food, and we're gonna watch the inauguration. We're gonna watch the championship game tomorrow night. I mean, it's Monday night.
Who do you like, Ohio State or Notre Dame?
Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think it's destined for them to win. Zach Brown. Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate that. Very cool song.
All right. I'll take Notre Dame for 407 barbecue.
Straight up?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I'm good with that.
All right.
You owe me one anyway, so it'd be just like double or nothing for me. For
Do I
you.
owe you one?
I don't know. I'm sure you do.
Sure I do.
Let's just call it.
Boy,
that.
that's the best way to get
Let's
a free
just
lunch.
call
I
it.
know there's somewhere down the road that we had a bet.
I just figured you probably did.
I know I owe you about 2 cases of Dr. Pepper.
That I know. That's funny.
You know what? There is so much cool product coming out into the marketplace. I mean, so much cool product coming out.
You
This
mean
next
of all
couple-
kinds of stuff, you mean?
Yeah, there's some great looking stuff coming down the pipeline. You know what? I wish I had the money. I'd love to have a Suburban.
I drove Suburbans when I was in the limousine business.
Yeah,
We'd
big
have,
old motorhome.
I did those. Those were great vehicles. And then you could if you picked up a pretty good, small group, you could pile them in there, luggage and everything.
Yep. Yeah, I like them.
We had the big ones. We had limo buses. Those were cool. Take everybody on those limo buses. Used to go out to the games, Cowboy games and Ranger games. Drove went blank on his name, but he used to be the owner of the Mavericks. Carter.
Oh yeah.
Drove him
1 minute.
several times from his house to the games. Yeah. Drove Eunice Kennedy Shriver once, John F. Kennedy's sister.
Huh.
I was a little fearful because it was the first time she'd ever been back to Dallas since her brother was killed. I thought she was wanting to go to the memorial area downtown Dallas. I didn't really want to go.
Did she?
No.
Oh.
I didn't ask, and she didn't ask, and we didn't go.
I've been wild.
Yeah, but I was thinking she might, Never know what people are thinking. But she didn't. I mean, I would have taken her, but it'd have been odd. But drove a lot of pretty cool people.
I saw some of the coolest limousines because when I worked for Johnny Go Honda, I was running the Honda store. He had 2 of the few lifts in DFW that could lift a limousine.
Wow.
And boy, did I see some cool decked out limos.
Bet you did. They're out there too. Not as much as they used to be, but
Now, I didn't realize that they took those things and cut them, stretched them out. And
that's what they do. Yeah, they
unbelievable. 214-787-1190. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Automotive Edge Radio Show. The more subscribers we get, the more money we get for our Adopt a Teacher program. So please be sure to do that. Tell your friends and family. Just go subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. I mean, as much as people are texting on their phones, they can take time to go to YouTube, type in the Automotive Edge Radio Show, and subscribe. And we're looking to get 1,000 done here pretty quick, and then we get $1,000 for the teachers, and it just goes full circle. 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Eldorado Mazda, my buddy Tommy Melton. Another great people mover has hit the marketplace. You got the CX90 with a good, comfortable third row, meaning it's usable for adults as well. And then they turned around and decided to put a V6, which everybody seems to be getting away from, in their CX70. So the place, ElDoradoMazda.com. A little shot of water there. See my buddy Tommy Melton. Let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show. And I had a family just recently went over and picked up their new CX5. We're blown away. When they gave me the list of cars, I'm going, have you driven a Mazda that fits into that category? No. Went over, looked at it, drove it, and now they're proud owners of it. So take the time, 380 and 75. My buddy Tommy Melton, Eldorado Mazda, the new family vehicle CX90, the all-new CX70 with a V6, and then you have your CX5, CX50, CX30, and a great lineup of SUVs to take care of you and your family. That's ElDoradoMazda.com. So,
what does CX stand for?
It's just
their model. They're just
model
what they call it.
Here's another question. We've answered this a bunch of times, but I'll go ahead and answer it again because it's important to you. How much will I lose on my car when a new totally redesigned car of the same model comes out? None. Got nothing to do with it anymore. Those days are gone.
Sometimes that model may be better than new one anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the look, you never know.
You're right. There's a lot of people that come out and say, I wish you had that old model back.
Right.
So you're not going to lose anything. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to financially destroy you not to have the newer model. Condition and miles. And right now the used car market is doing very, very well. The values are still very, very good. And so you don't have to worry about all that. So don't be fooled. Well, I bought this car 2 years ago, and now they've got this totally redesigned car out. It doesn't matter. It has no effect at all. When I was selling 30 years ago, there was a big difference. Well, that's the old model. You should have traded sooner. Not so much. If you're being told that, go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, scroll down, let me appraise your car, and you'll have a good hard number to talk to the dealership when it comes to owning the automobile. Can anyone be a co-signer when buying a car? No. They want family. Period. They want family. There may be some banks out there that may bend the rules or whatever, but mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather. They want that accountability where they can locate you or locate the co-signer in case something was to go south. So anyway, and the other question was, how do you get off being a co-signer? You got to refinance the car in their name. Another way around it. If the court says, unfortunately, you're getting a divorce that you have to pay for it and they don't, you're still responsible. A court order and making the car payments are two totally different things when it comes to the lender. Well, she's driving it, and I know the court ordered it, but, I'm just going to be stubborn and not pay it. You better be paying it because you send that court order to the manufacturer. They don't care. They'll still repo that vehicle. They want their money.
And it'll be in your name.
That's right. What are the best options to add to a truck for better resale? That's always a tough one because when you're redoing a truck for you, you're doing it for you. May not be appealing to a lot of people with these massive lift kits, the giant wheels and tires, or all the lighting that they're putting on, all this LED lighting. I always say when you do this work to a truck, when you do all the wild, cool things that you can do to a truck now, do it because you want it. Don't do it because somebody did one before and they sold it and they made a ton of money thinking you can continue to do that. If you did that, everybody would be doing it. And we'd have a bazillion custom trucks out there. So whenever you're doing stuff to a truck, make sure you're doing it because you like it.
And you're willing to maybe take the loss on it when you trade it, right?
Yeah, it's a plus or minus. You may do something, and I hear it all the time. Well, man, I got $12,000 worth of stuff on it. Well, okay, and you did it for what? You didn't do it for resale. You did it because
Right.
you liked it. So, and then who does the work and the quality of the parts that you put on it. Because when you put these really cool looking cheap rims on it, these dealers know. They know the brands. If not, they're going to look it up and go, don't want it, not interested. But lifted trucks, still a hot commodity. Big wheels and tires, still a hot commodity.
Depends on what type of big wheels and tires you put on it.
Right. So when you're adding to a truck and you're designing your truck and you're going to put all the goodies on it, do it because you want to and you like it. Don't do it thinking it's going to bring a lot of money down the road, because I have a lot of people that right when I get there and I look at their truck, well, I've got this, this, and this on it. I take pictures. I know exactly who to send these vehicles to. I had one, he had $32,000 in this truck, 32 grand, and upgraded wheels and tires, suspension, everything was color coded. The interior, I mean, it was unbelievable what he did to this pickup truck. And when I hit the price on him, he just looked at me and he was like, "You got to be kidding." I went, "No." He wanted this much money, and we're $22,000 less. And I said, "That's top dollar on this truck." So when you do it, don't do it with the intention of thinking, I've got the cool, what you think is the coolest truck ever built.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to trade it in and realize people don't feel the same way you do about it.
Well, absolutely.
You know, so that's the best advice I can give you. Putting a lift kit on it, it's the quality of the lift kit, who did it, and what kind of warranty they put with it, and is that warranty transferable? Because that always helps if you're trading in a big lifted truck and you go, hey, here's a transferable warranty on all this, 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 and this. That's going to help. But it's not going to be what you're paying retail for, because you got retail to retail or wholesale to wholesale when you're trading. It's just the way it is. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. You know, I get asked a lot about the electric vehicles and what's going to happen down the road. Nobody knows. And I had about a dozen questions here about what's going on down the road with electric vehicles and should I buy now or wait? Well, right now you got $7,500 and that's going to last a few more days. Once Trump gets in office and he starts cleaning the house and cutting corners and cutting out all the wasteful spending and all the junk that's going on, he's got the right people in place to do it. A lot of this stuff is going to go away. And nobody so far has looked up and seen what where that money's coming from. It's incredible where the $7,500 is coming from, and it's going away.
You Google it because Kurt won't tell us the answer. So Google, where does the $7,500 come for EV vehicles? I guess I could Google that myself.
Yeah, you can.
I haven't thought about that.
And it shouldn't be there anyway. The government should not be assisting people to buy cars. I don't get it. It comes from the manufacturer. You build a good enough quality car that people want to buy, you'll be successful. If you don't, you won't, and nor will you.
1 minute.
So I don't get into all of that. I don't understand it, never have. It's good for the dealers to help move inventory, but in the long run, it all comes back on our dime. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. We'll be right back.
So it's not really saying. Comes from the Department of Energy. Not really saying.
What was the question that you typed in?
Where does the $7,500
EV tax credit come from?
Mm-hmm.
What does it tell you?
Here's rules for new and used electric vehicles tax credit. Too much to read. I don't know. It's not saying where it comes from. It just says once fueleconomy.gov website.
Well,
Well, we're looking here is why we're quiet at this moment in time. I want to thank everybody for being a part of our broadcast today. We're back live after being on hiatus the last couple Saturdays. Kurt was on a cruise. Now he's back, and we're back in the saddle. So, thanks for being a part of us today as we get kind of rolling here in this new year, getting things rocking for the new year coming with a new president and new Congress, different people in there now. We're going to be moving forward.
Well, did you find it?
No. It's just through your taxes. Choose the right electric vehicle and you can save $7,500 on your annual tax bill or as a rebate.
Mm-hmm. What government entity does the $7,500 electric car tax credit come from?
Internal Revenue Service.
And it don't come from the IRS.
That's what it says right here. It says the federal government has been subsidizing the production and sale of electric vehicles for more than a decade through a $7,500 credit administered by the Internal Revenue Service.
Administered. That's right. But where are they getting the money from to administer it?
Won't that come from us? The people?
Okay. What do we pay into as taxpayers?
What do you mean, what do we pay into? We pay into the IRS.
Well, you're paying more into the IRS. You're paying into Social Security.
Right.
You're paying into Medicare, Medicaid. You're paying into your tax base. There's a bunch of stuff you're paying into. I mean, look at your.
So you're saying where does it go, like to Social Security?
So all this money is pumped into the federal government. Where do they pull that money from to benefit the $7,500 tax credit? Pretty scary. Because they don't make money. They only print money. There's now one entity of the government that makes money.
Of course not.
Unless you're Nancy Pelosi, and then you get to be worth hundreds of millions.
Correct. Ronnie Swain says Big Will's bow is a hot commodity, according to Barbie Ann. There you go. About that. I wish she'd tell me that. I never hear that.
She was terminally pretty.
214-787-1190, wrapping up another 4 hours of the Automotive Edge radio show. Be sure to go to the YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in the Automotive Edge radio show and subscribe. The more subscribers we've got going on with the business, we hit 1,000, we're getting 1,000, and on and on and on. And we'd really like to take care of a lot of teachers over the next couple of months as their bills start adding up just to keep the classroom running, because they don't give them any money for them to take care of what they need. They can put in a requisite for supply, but a lot of times it falls on deaf ears, and the Automotive Edge radio show wants to fill those voids for the teachers. So subscribe, and as subscriptions go up, so does the moolah to buy supplies for the teachers. Real quick, Ford's got a bunch of 0 APR available to you. Buick's got a bunch of 0.9 when you look through all the different models, Nissan Group, they've got 0% available on a lot of their products. So what does that tell you? Things are looking good. Toyota, a lot of 0 APR. Stellantis finally jumped on board, a lot of 0 APR. So things are actually looking really, really good. The day supply is really high on certain products. If you're looking for the deal and you want to know where the highest day supply is, we can help you with that. So what does that mean? They have a huge day supply. The average day supply at a dealership, they'd love to have it around 45 days. But when it starts hitting 80, 90, 100, those cars got to go. And if it happens to be one that you like, we can give you the update on it and go, hey, if you're looking for a smoking deal, here's the product you need to be taking a look at. And it doesn't mean it's a bad car. It's just not maybe appealing to you and not to one other. You know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Could be the color, could be just something simple, not even nothing that just grabs the right person.
Exactly right. So when you take a look, when I take a look through this list, people call me and say, hey, where's the best deal? I usually have a half a dozen vehicles for you to go, okay, look, does color matter? Well, a lot of people say no, but it usually does.
It does. Definitely.
Yeah, you won't believe how many people that they show up and call me and go, hey, Kurt, is there another color?
Yeah.
But it didn't matter.
But when they told you in the beginning, no, it doesn't matter. And then all of a sudden,
do they have anything but this color? You know, you spent all week looking for a car, you finally got one. And that's why I don't do dealer trades with the dealers, because I've had dealers that bring in a car in from another state or another region or another area, and then they show up and go, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then the dealer's stuck with that car.
Yeah.
So we don't do that. We say, you know, color does matter to most people. I always ask, do you like light or dark? I got so many people love black. I've got so many people that love medium. I tell you, when you're going home today and you're going down the highway, look how many cars are either black or white. It'll blow you away.
Well, there's a lot of white. I know that. I think white is probably the number one color.
White, gray, and black.
Right. And I can't stand white. I think it's just too sterile to me. It just loses personality.
Sterile is good. That's clean.
Well, I'm not sterile. I want something that's got a little junk in the trunk, they call it.
Something funky.
Funky. So I like color.
Both got the funk.
But I don't like wild colors. I do like purple. But I would say if normally where I'd like to go hone in and I really get attracted to, it's more the grays or the granite colors like that. It's kind of real popular right now, too.
See, I find that depressing.
You find
grays.
That? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I find grays depressing. Do
you find black depressive?
I love black. The thing about it is that, man, you can spend all day, you polish that puppy up and it's looking good. And then you go up to, 7-Eleven, grab a Slurpee and come home with dirty.
They're already dirty. I know they are good.
Yeah, but man, I'm going to tell you what, black is beautiful. When it's cleaned up, oh my goodness. I had a Silverado was black and down the side was silver.
Oh, wow.
And I kept the thing spit shine. I got the phone. I'm like, my gosh, I'm killing myself to make this truck look good.
every day.
Yeah. And next thing you know, I'd go out and come home and go, look how dirty this truck looks.
But don't you hate it when you clean your car up really, really good, and then you go under like a bridge or something's got a little standing water? You go, Dad, go with that little bitty standing water.
You always find the mess, don't you?
That's going to hit it and just destroy the whole hours I've spent on this car.
Yeah, or drive through somewhere and running their sprinklers.
Yeah,
go,
like that
what are you doing? It's raining, and just got through raining, and then it turned the sprinklers on. I get it, but I like different colors. I like colors that pop.
Yeah.
I loved when I had my car with Laguna Blue, and I love the Lunar Silver and the Hysteria Purple. The decision's still out on that one, but I like the different. I remember when Iris came out. You know what Iris is?
1 minute.
It's like a pinkish purple.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We sold the fire out of those.
Oh, yeah.
And now you don't see a whole lot of the orange and the yellows and the greens. All this stuff's kind of fading out. Very conservative on the colors these days.
Yeah, they have.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We sure enjoyed having you with us. Everybody on Facebook, thanks for joining. Be sure to sign up and subscribe on our YouTube channel, the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Maddie back in studio. You are the double BOMB bomb. And we'll be talking to you soon, Bo.
Yes.
Great job.
Back in the saddle here, going into 2025, our first real live broadcast here. That's in right. 2025, and hope to have a lot of fun things down the pipeline. So stay with us each and every Saturday from 8 to noon right here on Talk Radio 1190 KFXR.
Have a great weekend.